Are you ready to kickstart your week with some dirt slinging and tire slinging Action Motorsports radio that packs the biggest gas?
Hi, Ken Block here.
Hey, my name's Jolene Van Butte.
What's up, Brian Deegan here.
Vaughn Gittin Jr. here.
They've
Amy Hood, like I'm from the hood. Don't get it twisted.
sit back, strap in, and be prepared to join us as we take you through a motorsports ride like no other. Here is the man who carries a steering wheel in one hand and a mic in the other, Jim Beaver.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Down and Dirty Radio Show. We're coming at you live from Contingency at the 2017 Polaris RZR Mint 400. Got my partners in crime for the week, or for the weekend. Jim Riley, Sarah Price here, kind of holding it down. I don't know, how you feeling here?
I don't know how I'm feeling just yet. We're in Vegas, right?
Yeah, no, this is incredible. We're right in front of it all. It's just straight chaos here in Contingency.
And Jim, if we're together all weekend, where were you at last night to save me from that bar?
I was the smart one of the bunch. Actually, I was. I had a few drinks after the pit crew challenge. This is the interesting event. This is the only one where I MC something, and they actually bring you beers and they encourage you to drink while you're MCing.
Right. Have a good time, please.
So, we're sitting there, and all of a sudden, Matt Martelli pops up with 3 beers for me, him, and Cameron. He's like, "We got to do a toast to Casey here in the middle of everybody in the arena." And I'm like, "Man, this is what it's all about, you know." But I know what do they say? Race, party, and play. That's the Mint 400, right?
Yeah, pretty much sums it all up, right? You guys did a great job last night, by the way. Really good event.
Yeah. Cameron and I, we've been friends for a long time. I think we've been emceeing that particular event for like 5 years now. So you get a feel for somebody, and it's. You just work together well, so. Yeah,
I get it. Well, as you know, I started my racing career with Cameron in the trophy truck years ago, so we spent a lot of time together on the headsets.
Yeah. And Sarah, you're here. You've raced just about everything, but I don't know if you have raced the Mint 400 yet, right?
I haven't raced the Mint 400, no. I'm working on it. I have some things that I'm trying to get happening for it, and nothing I'd rather do than start my desert career here at the Mint 400 next year.
Yeah, I know. And you've raced King of the Hammers. Terracross. You've done the Gazelles Rally in Morocco. You're like world traveler here. Moto. I don't know. You X Games medalist on a dirt bike. Like you're pretty well veteran here.
I just like to race stuff. I have a passion for racing. What can I say?
Stadium super trucks. We can't leave that out.
Yeah.
First woman to ever race a stadium super truck.
Yeah, those things are a blast. Man. There's a lot of things coming out like them, though. That's it's looking exciting for the truck market, I think. Some new little project people have going on.
Jim and I are sitting here and we're going, yeah, we know your resume. And we're like, stay out of the desert, please, because we don't want to be embarrassed.
Right. Let some of that good luck rub off on us. We got a big day tomorrow.
That's actually my dad started a desert. He had a Class 10 car. Still have it, actually.
That's what I told you. Dust that thing off
I know.
and take it to Nora or something. That'd be perfect. It's like beam. Is it a beam front end?
It's a beam front end. It's a single
Nora.
seat.
Nora, that is definitely a Nora car right there.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So we are here, Fremont Street, Polaris RZR, kicking things off. I don't know, we're here. I don't know, those of you tuning in, sorry we're a little bit late. We had a little generator problem, but life is good now. Oh, we got Seth Quintero over here. We're going to grab him. This is the way we roll here.
Come on over here, Seth.
You're going to wave. You sit down, buddy.
Here, put on this headset.
Yeah, we're going to get – that's the way we roll here on Contingency. We have we've got like a guest list lineup. And it's very fluid here. So Jerry Zaiden in here. Seth Quintero signed a Polaris RZR factory deal this year. But he's also you're the youngest Red Bull athlete in history, correct?
I am.
Right
youngest
on.
Red Bull athlete in history, Seth Quintero. So tell us about your 2017 plans. You're here at the Mint 400. I know you got that factory Polaris deal. What's the plans, buddy?
The plan is hopefully to check out how everything is, and next year hopefully be able to race. 'Cause unfortunately, I'm not old enough yet. But one of these days we'll definitely be here, just kind of learning the ropes and pretty pumped.
Yeah, that's a good problem to have, being too young to enter the mid-400.
Yeah,
right?
just be waiting to go, right? Good job.
Yeah. So what's the plans, though? I mean, obviously you're not racing the mid-400. I know you are racing Razors this year, though. What are your plans?
I've been racing Dish 38, which is like a smaller desert race. It's like 60-mile loops, a couple miles, and then I'm still doing the Work Series, which is more of the
moto and
it's like a mix of desert and short course. That Works is kind of cool.
Yeah, and he's killing it.
Yeah,
absolutely killing it.
He's being very humble out here.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, he is. He is. He's a good kid with a good family, and he just rips it up when he hops into his 1000. I don't know, how can you see over the steering wheel?
I have a seat pad. It's all good.
All right.
I think that was a height joke on you, man.
Oh, man, yeah, but he's preparing for desert, so better be ready, UTV people. He's coming for you.
Yeah, so what are the long-term plans? I mean, here you are. I don't know, what are you? Are you 13, 14 now?
14.
14, turn 14. You got a Red Bull deal. You got a Polaris deal. Like, there's a lot of people that are envious of you. I mean, what's the future? I mean, Seth, 10 years from now, where do you want to be racing?
I want to be here racing a trophy truck. I mean, that's always been the dream. And hopefully we can make it happen.
That's right. You got Red Bull on the helmet. I think you slide in Bryce Menzies to get a little age.
There you go.
Seth Quintero
He already
slide
has
right
a
in
good
there.
friendship with Bryce, huh?
Yeah.
You go out there and support him all the time. I think that's everyone's goal, is to come out here in the Mid 400 in a trophy truck.
Everyone wants to do that.
Yeah. Who doesn't want to drive a trophy
Honestly.
truck?
Yeah. I know what's crazy to me is, like, Jim can attest to this, and probably even Sarah. Like, when I was growing up and I was his age, there was nothing but a dirt bike or a quad, right?
Yeah,
there was no four-wheel vehicles. There wasn't a Polaris Razor. There wasn't a trophy cart or any of that. Like, you rode a dirt bike, you rode a quad, and then you turned 16, and then you bounced around in the desert, and, like, your dad's buggy or truck or something. But, like, for a kid like this to see his skills and to be signing these, like, major contracts at that age, like, that's saying something, man.
Yeah, he rips it up on a dirt bike, too. We went out to Paula not too long ago, and we ripped it up on the dirt bikes together. We had a good time.
Yeah.
He has a Suzuki 85.
My dad actually grew up desert racing on a dirt bike, which kind of like got me in the whole desert scene. And I was on a bike, and then unfortunately he had a bad crash and got life flighted. And Mom said no, and she put me in a cage, which was definitely the better decision.
That's very smart on her behalf.
Yeah. That's and obviously it's turned out for the best.
Yeah.
So here you are, killing it. But so what's the plans for race day? I know you're out here. You got a lot of friends in the UTV industry. I mean, who are you supporting out here this weekend?
I'm going to come out here and pit for Jacob Shaw. Just kind of stop by, see everybody, and hopefully we can get a nice, safe, fast pit for him and get him back out on the track.
All right. So when's your next race?
My next race is March 19th out in Lake Havasu.
Oh, that's the one where you jump over the.
Yeah.
They've got the lake jump where you jump over the lake.
It's a great time.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
It's really cool. You actually race right down along the water line, and you get to see some really cool stuff. So it's a good rough track.
Yeah. I've been racing all the little cars for the past couple years and jumping in 1,000. I can finally hit the lake jump and not get stuck in all the ruts.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how was that? Moving up to the big car from the smaller one. Pretty easy transition for you this year.
I wouldn't say easy. It definitely took a lot of time to kind of figure out the car. Because it was actually the works car is in my car. I was thankful enough to get a car from UT Underground, let me race for the year. And so we kind of had to figure out that car. It was Ronnie Anderson's old car, and he's about 7 foot, so I had to raise the seat a little bit. But other than that, the transition was pretty good. We went out for practice first time. It was pouring, like the worst rain that Vegas has ever gotten. But I feel like that almost helped me because, I wasn't always, full pace all the time, So I was, able to learn the car more and was running third and I broke a radius rod and came out fifth, but everything's working out pretty good.
Awesome, man. Well, we appreciate you stopping by. Looks like you're having some fun out here, and here's hoping we see you racing the Mid 400 in a year or two, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
congratulations, man. Sounds like you got a great start to your career.
Thank you.
Yep.
All right, thanks a lot, Seth.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, buddy. Take it easy.
Bye,
we'll
Seth.
See ya.
I'm going to retire when he gets in a truck, man.
That's what's crazy, though. I mean, 14 years old, he signed youngest Red Bull athlete in history. They plucked him when he was 13, I think.
We have Shelby Anderson behind us, too.
Sure, have her jump around the table. We're waiting on Jerry Zaiden, so we're just going to keep plucking people, man.
Come on down, Shelby.
He's Jerry's hanging out with Jay Leno, so
Yeah,
I don't know. We're
he's too good for
backburnered,
us.
right? Yeah, we got Shelby Anderson. We're just. It's so weird. When you got Shelby, usually Seth Quintero somewhere nearby. I don't know. You two
Did you just see Seth? He
Yeah,
just
we were
walked
just
off.
with him.
Oh, I was going to say, normally you two are around each other or something, but Yeah, you're out here. I know I was talking to you. I'm like, man, I can't believe somebody didn't pluck you for, racing out here at the Mint.
Yeah, I'm just out here with sponsors, saying hi and stuff. Just like I know Sarah's probably out here for sponsors and exposure.
Making the rounds.
Yeah, exactly. And I wish I could be here for the race tomorrow, but I have another previous engagement that I have to go to on Saturday. So kind of bummed about that. But, yeah, we're just out here walking around, seeing all there is to see.
I know you co-drove in a 6100 truck at Parker, right?
I was going to.
Okay.
And then they were pushing pretty hard, so they didn't want to all switch and get out. So I stayed out, and all the guys stayed in. But it was cool. And we're looking to do some more testing stuff with Scott Yancey. And they're out here. I haven't seen them yet, but they're out here.
Yeah, so there's a chance you may drive a 6100 truck?
Maybe in testing. I don't know if Scott's going to want to give it up that easy, but
yeah, that's a tough ride to give up.
Yeah. You never
Jim's
know.
scouting his competition here,
right?
I don't know. I don't think we should put her in that seat.
Let me see your resume.
Oh, yeah, you don't. You'd be really scared then. No, Shelby's killing it. She absolutely is dominating everything in the side-by-sides right now. She's also teaching kids in karts at Adams all the time. Mm-hmm. And she's just all around just a great person for the sport. It's really cool to see a chick out there doing it and just be a really cool, down-to-earth person, too, you know?
Yeah, it's the same thing with Sarah. When I met Sarah, I remember she followed me on Instagram, and she had all these followers, and I was like, who is this? And then she came up to me at the Lucas races because we both raced against each other in the 900. So I was like, oh, she's so rad. She's so cool. And then we started racing Terracross and more 1,000 stuff together, and we became pretty close. So it's cool having that bond because there's not very many girls. There's more coming in the industry, but there isn't very many to start with, so it's good to have.
Yeah, you two have been, like, as far as women in UTVs, I mean, between Sarah and Shelby, you guys have really kind of pushed that movement, you know, and you guys have kind of been at the forefront of it. And you guys, I mean, you're friends, and like when we're calling the TV show, we call it Best Frenemies because you guys have like literally like these crazy battles on track, and they're clean battles. You know, you guys don't race each other dirty, but you race each other hard, and it's so fun to watch.
Yeah, that's the coolest thing. And like me and Shelby this last year in Terracross, we're like, hey, we don't want to just race with the girls. Like, we're as fast as the men. Our lap time showed it. We went out there, and the girls were on the podium.
Nice.
We beat all the men.
The very first one. And then I remember Joe Duncan and Jeremy were all just going crazy because they're like, no way, that was so awesome.
Well, we were sitting in the driver's meeting, and Joe goes at Heydays, and Joe goes, yeah, he's like, we're going to have, the shootout's going to be celebrities against the pro men. And I'm like, Shelby's sitting here, and she's like, oh, you know, and I'm like, Joe, I got Shelby right here, and she's putting money down, says she can beat you guys, the girls can beat the men. And Joe looks, and he's like he didn't know what to say, and we put him on the spot, and he's like, all right, we'll make it happen. And immediately you guys went out and were like, you put your money where your mouth was, and it was like.
Nice.
Well, we don't play. We want to show that we're just as good and better as the guys are, and we did that, so it was awesome.
And that's something, too, like in motocross, it's a little bit different. You know, a female's not as strong as a man is ever going to be, and you're just built that way. But in a car, there's absolutely no reason why a female shouldn't be better than a man. A man could be better than a female. It's totally equal because there's no, necessarily physical things that hinder you, so.
You're definitely not allowed to ride 6100 then. Yeah. We don't want to see you out there.
Dang.
All right. Well, thanks for stopping by, Shelby.
Yeah, no
Good
problem.
seeing you out here. We'll definitely have to catch up soon on the show.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Thanks a lot.
Bye, Shelby.
Bye.
All right. That was Shelby Anderson, I guess, Terracross champ. She took your crown, Miss Sarah Price.
Yeah, she did this last year. But props to her. I love seeing the girls just excel in the sport, so.
All right, we got Jerry Zaiden sitting down. We're going to get him mic'd up. We're just rolling right here with the interview. That's what I love about Fremont Street. We just grab people off and roll with it, man. We got Jerry sitting down, and you're kind of one of the big news stories this week in Camberg with Jay Leno racing with you. That's a pretty big name to have in the truck.
Yeah, pretty cool for sure. You hear that kind of news. These guys want to race with you and get these opportunities. And when you think about the largest automotive celebrity globally, I mean, you think Jay Leno. He's got Jay Leno's garage and such an auto enthusiast, and really cool meeting up with him. We met out in the desert around in between Barstow and Lucerne. And first time he drove the truck, he was just totally blown away with how this thing works. And, Jim, from driving these unlimited trucks, and both Jims, I should say. You guys know with these unlimited trucks, you can hit anything.
Yeah,
you
absolutely.
get these stock Tacomas with good shocks, and you can hit stuff, but you're like, man, like, does this thing work well or
Yeah.
what's going on here? But he was blown away with how it worked.
Yeah, what were some of his comments? Because, when you take a guy like that that's so used to the street, and then he gets out there and that thing works, like, how was he describing the feel of the truck?
Yeah, he thought it was really neat. Like, he was just like, this is like organized chaos, like I'm getting to pound this thing. He's like, I'm used to these sports cars and hot rods and going fast. And no, he thought it was really neat, and like how you turn in the berms and slide it a little bit and having fun with it. He thought it was really a cool thing.
How did he do? Did he actually kind of push the truck like to its limits a little bit, get his speed up, or is he kind of
timid?
No, he's definitely not timid. So I put him in with me and showed him, like, this is a speed. Like, you hit these kind of bumps just at 25 miles an hour. It's not leaving the ground. You don't want to leave the ground in the stock trucks. You want to just kind of keep it going because it'll survive all day.
Yeah.
If you start leaving the ground, the skid plates bashing into earth and parts could be flying off. So he knew that pretty quickly. And he doesn't have off-road experience.
Yeah.
Like we all do that and see it. It's just kind of, you take it for granted how just naturally it comes. He's a great driver, and he took to it pretty well.
Yeah, it's a big transition coming from no experience in off-road and then just hopping in one of those bad boys.
Yeah, throw him in one of Jerry's trucks, man. Hey, buddy, step on up. So what's his race plan? Like, what are you guys going to do with him out there tomorrow?
Yeah, so he's going to start. The truck's going to run in the morning race, so he's going to start in the AM, and then I'm going to finish it. We do 2 laps in that class, and they're 116-mile laps. So, I mean, it's 240 miles.
It's a commitment.
Yeah.
It's a commitment, right on.
We might average, we're thinking maybe 30 miles an hour, so that's, 3 hours per lap.
Yeah.
Possibly 4.
Yeah.
So, long time in that truck.
Yeah.
Well, Jerry, you certainly deserve to have somebody like that with you guys. You've done such a great job with your brand and everything, and you've worked. How many years have you been in business now?
February was 20 years.
Oh, my gosh.
Kind of hard to believe. It's
Wow.
20 years in business now, yeah.
Wow, what a great job you've done. I mean, your product's all over the world now, and everybody, I talk to people about getting some aftermarket parts. They're always talking about your brand, so you've done a wonderful job marketing that,
Thank you.
Yeah, I never met you, but I've known your company for a very long time now, and it's great product, and it's really cool to see it. I have a Toyota Tundra, and I've looked at your product before about putting it on there, and you go with the best, and there's a reason why you're the best. So cool to see you out here racing and improving it too on the track.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's definitely fun building this stuff and getting these opportunities with Toyota now on board. We're doing that stock Tacoma and then the trick truck or the unlimited trucks, Tundra bodied up now.
Yep.
I just walked over from our booth. A lot of people checking out the Tacoma, which is really cool.
Yeah.
There's so many trophy trucks here, but there's only one brand new truck that a lot of people own that's all caged up and ready to go race the Mint 400. But I got all the Toyota execs in the booth right now, and I got Leno's people miking the car up. The truck's getting all mic'd and cameraed, and I got Fred Williams from Dirt Every Day. He's going to be my co-driver, so he's going to be my navigator. And I actually have the head engineer who designed the Tacoma trucks going to be on the third seat in the back.
Wow.
So he's really fired up, and this actually has a lot to do with him, too, because there's no better place to test how strong and durable the Toyota trucks are than at a race like the Mint 400.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible too, Jerry. Jim was talking about it earlier. He's got a new race program and how much work it is. And just to hear you talk right now, you've got a ton of work to do. Not only do you have a new trophy truck out there and that whole side, and then you're talking about the celebrity side here, man. I don't know how you do it.
Yeah, it's a lot of work for sure. Like as you can see now, I'm interviewing, texting.
Yeah,
it's all going on. But this is the biggest circus I've been involved in now.
Yeah.
So with running the race team and the business and meeting new people out here, we were at the Hogs and Heifers last night.
Oh God, right?
And
you should have pulled me out when you left.
Yeah.
I didn't see you guys there. What the heck?
Yeah, so we're in the back. You had Guy Fieri there. He's
Yeah.
a celebrity chef with the crazy spiky hair. And you had, what was the guy from Methods of Mayhem? He was Tommy Lee's dude. And I don't know, they're in there, and there are all kinds of other, motocross guys and road race guys. Tanner Foust was in there. So it's just showing what the Mint's bringing now. You got a lot of new people coming up, and it's becoming a bigger event now. And Jim and I talk about this all the time. I'm like, look, you do your thing and you plug away, and, you can see how your radio show's growing and your social media's growing.
Yep.
And, the whole environment of off-road racing, I feel, is really starting to take off, especially in the United States. We like racing in Baja, but it's hard down there. It's like you got to deal with government and people and just other issues. Where we come here and we just have this like great environment, and it's a lot of new companies. I got Odyssey Battery; they're out here now.
Yeah, I saw them.
So Maria's running around; she's having the time of her life, and she's the marketing lady with that company. And they have a big trailer set up, and it's really cool to see.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah. Hey, I got to thank you. As we always talk about the 6100 class. You and I basically started that class together. I know we were out there for one race or two up by ourselves, and then you showed up. But thanks for all those years being out there. Now you're in trophy truck. We started something big. There's over 40 cars entered this race, and it was really neat to have you there and watch you move into trophy truck again.
Yeah, I think that class was spot on. In 2007 was my first year racing in Best in the Desert, and we took a stock Ford Ranger Edge. Which was just a Ford Ranger built on the four-wheel drive chassis, and it had all our kit on it. And it was a stock engine, stock dashboard, and we ran it in this new class Best in the Desert opened up called 7200. And with Casey, like I'd always say, like, why can't we just run a Spec V8 in this thing? These V6 engines are really expensive, and we can't afford a custom race engine, but we want to come race this class. And so for years, it's like, we need this. And then you went, and at the time you had a regular Trophy Light.
Yeah.
And then you were the first one to buy the first R8, which was the Spec V8 engine one. And that was exactly what I was telling Casey we needed to do. So then for like a year, I'm like, we need to do this. You need to open that class up. And he goes, I'm going to give Foust 1 year with this thing. And if there's no more entries and it ain't growing, then you get your class. And he goes, and I'm sick of hearing it. He told me straight up on the phone. He goes, I don't want to talk about it anymore. I'm going to just give the damn thing to you. And that's when, you guys were part of the rulemaking in that. And when you said, hey, our truck's this and that, it was like perfect. Like, this is going to keep this class affordable and good, and people are going to want to grow with it. What is it, 38 entries in that class?
Yeah, crazy.
Awesome.
Insane.
Yeah.
So
it's a good time.
Yeah. Well, thanks a lot for stopping by, Jerry. I appreciate it, man. Good luck tomorrow, and we'll definitely catch up soon, buddy.
All right, guys.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thanks,
All
guys.
right.
Take it easy.
Jerry.
Bye.
All right. Looks like we got Ryan Arciero hanging out over there. We're going to bring him in. We're just rolling here. That's how we do it on Fremont. Just
Yeah.
Hi, Sarah.
Yeah. How we doing, buddy? Yeah, we got to. Here's a guy that's been around a while. I know. I got a private email ping from Arciero, and I can't even remember what it said, but it was a little dig at Jim Riley there.
Send your check.
Hey, any day to dig on Jim is a good.
Oh, come on now. Thanks, Ryan. Good to see you, buddy.
You too.
Yeah.
You guys look great.
Feel great.
Are we having fun?
Yeah.
This place is jam-packed.
Yeah, it's crazy. We were trying to guesstimate because we got this new thing and this new car, Razor Star car, and so we got to time when we go through tech with TV cameras and all that. And they're like, so what time do you start? When are we going to get there? And I'm like, honestly, I don't know. And they're like, well, we need to know, have a window. And I'm like, I have no idea. I can't give you. I'm like, before 5 o'clock if we start at 9 a.m.?
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know. It's just one of those things. It's so massive here at the Mint. I mean, 3-hour wait to get your darn driver's band.
I think that's why I thank God for qualifying yesterday, and I can get my band yesterday and not have to wait in the long lines because that's a pain in the butt.
Yeah, it is. It's good, though. It's good for the sport. It's a good thing to have all these people here and having an issue getting through.
No, you know what's nice about it is the fact that it's not only the race fans that are on Fremont Street, but it is the tourists that are here.
Yeah, tons.
And I'm stoked on the tourists because now we're introducing people that have no idea what the hell this is to our sport. That's cool. Those are the people that we want and need. Of course, our core group of guys are always going to be there, guys and gals. But we want those new faces to see what we're doing.
Yeah, that's why it's such a great event because it does drive all those tourists here, and they have so many questions, and it gives us that opportunity to say, hey, this is what we're doing out here.
And they're blown away.
Yeah.
They have no idea what they're looking at. I mean, I just looked at a Polaris Razor over here that's a monster truck that I had never seen before. Freaking thing's wild.
Yeah, pretty incredible.
We were just talking about that, me and Jim, before you came on. We were just like, it's pretty cool. We're introducing this whole area to a whole nother thing, but it's people who don't necessarily want to go out in the dirt, but they're able to come here and be a part of it still.
Exactly. And what's cool about it is, obviously, the race is going to be televised, so hopefully we can get their eyes on the television program, and now they can connect the dots. Like, oh, I saw those people. I saw that car. I saw that truck.
Yep.
I saw that UTV. I understand it a little bit more now, and we start getting more fans for life. And because we need to start reaching out to that demographic that I think are fans, but they don't know they're fans yet.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Hey, Ryan, how was qualifying yesterday, man? You guys had, over 70 vehicles out there?
God, it was wild. I mean, it's amazing how it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and especially in trophy truck and Class 1. I mean, I'm blown away. I mean, there's multi-million dollar of equipment sitting out there.
Yeah.
And for us, I mean, I'm fortunate to be involved in one of the best teams, Las Vegas Natives, the Terrible Herps. Tim and Troy. I raced with Troy in the 91, and qualifying went okay for us.
Yeah.
We ended up 15th. I thought we did a little bit better. I'm going to say the stopwatch was wrong. No, it was probably me, but 15th's okay, especially when you have that field stacked that tall and that many vehicles. I'm okay with where we're at, especially since we're starting 2x2.
Yeah, well, you look at the gap between some of the vehicles on qualifying. I mean, hundredths of a second.
It is. It's tight over 3.7 miles. It's pretty incredible. So all in all, throw qualifying out because it doesn't mean anything now for Saturday.
Yeah.
So now we got to go race, and we have to fight the mint. We have to fight the elements. We have to fight the dust. We have to fight the rocks. Other competitors out there, the ditches, the bumps. I mean, it's a gnarly race course.
Yeah, and plus you got the morning race that's going to chew it up.
Yep.
And going backwards again, right?
Yeah, exactly. Which I like. I didn't get a chance to race last year because we were building our new truck that we're racing this year, and so I sat out, and they reversed it. They reversed it to the direction they're doing now, and I actually like that. I'm like, so I was happy that they're doing it this year.
Well, I'll ask you after the race if you like
I know.
That's what I was going to ask you. So last year we had you here for an interview. You were sitting the race out because you're getting the new truck ready. I think maybe debut at the 500.
Yep.
How is the new truck?
The new truck is night and day to the old truck, and we're about 1,100 pounds lighter than the other truck. Same horsepower. We're still pushing about 900 horsepower, so you can figure your power-to-weight ratio, the truck's going to be so much quicker. It's so much more responsive. Cornering is so much better. The truck does what I want it to do. So before the old trucks, I'm waiting as a driver for the truck to allow me to make its next move.
Yeah.
Now the truck, I make a move in the truck, and the truck says to me, it says, okay, what do you want me to do next? So now the truck's waiting on me, which is a driver, that's what you want. And so the corner speeds in the truck are a lot higher than before. Acceleration's a lot higher than before. Suspension's working so much better with the King shocks. It's amazing the difference we had from last year's truck to this year's truck with the suspension alone.
Ryan, what's going on over there at Herps? Because everybody I talked to is talking about the quality of the trucks coming out of there. You guys built a 6100 truck, and they're talking about that. I mean, was there some changes in the staff over there? Are these guys just got smarter all of a sudden? I mean, what happened over there?
They did. They knew we needed to do something different than what we've had before. And from the ideas they had, instead of jumping into the trophy truck side of things, they had a customer who wanted to build a 6100. So that opened the door for them to design what they wanted for a trophy truck, but input that into a 6100 instead.
Right.
And so that once that build was done, and once they tested it and they saw what the ability of it was, it's like, okay, now let's start building the 19 truck. They got Brett Serapis and Steve Serapis aboard to build the 88 truck. And to me, the trucks look badass. I mean, they just sit there and they look like they're fast.
Yeah.
And they look cool. So Brett's had great success with that truck. We've had great success from day one out of the box with the 19 and the 91. And, we were leading the Baja 1000 overall for most of the race and ended up finishing third. But that was only the third race for the truck. So the quality, the workmanship, beautiful. And now, Parker, we had a couple mechanical issues that we had to work through. The 19 ran flawless, but now, we're here for a new race. We got the Mint 400 in front of us. We're excited. We worked out some of the bugs, and I said I'm ready to push the gas pedal down come Saturday.
Yeah. I was going to say one last question before we let you go, though. I mean, you're a guy, you've accomplished a lot in your career, won a lot of races. I mean, what would an overall victory at the Mint 400 mean?
You know what? It's funny you asked that question because I thought about this quite a bit leading up to this race, and I've been very, very fortunate enough. I got 3 Baja 1000s under my belt, 2 in Trophy Truck and 2 in Class 1, and those mean the world to me. And I was sitting here thinking to myself that I truly, truly want to check the box that says Mint 400 winner on it.
Yeah.
Because there is something special about that. This is a race that I grew up as a kid. This is a race I came to, in the 70s and 80s with my dad and my uncle. And so this race is special. And to me, it is the biggest race we have in the States. And the Martelli brothers and Best in Desert done a phenomenal job of promoting and making this race bigger than life. So to check that box would be a huge accomplishment to me.
All right. right. Well, thanks a lot for stopping by, buddy.
Thank
Good luck.
you guys.
And
have fun.
Yeah, we will.
Absolutely. You guys gonna have fun tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm kind of, you know, it's a change of pace for me. I'm in the morning race. I got to get up early, but I'm kind of looking forward to the track not being so beat.
Yeah, that would be nice.
I think you're much better off. Well, good luck to you.
All right, thanks a lot, buddy.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Good luck out there.
Thanks, Sarah. Appreciate it.
Good to see you, Ryan.
All right.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. You guys
easy,
enjoy.
buddy.
All right, we got Mitch Guthrie Jr. I think he's hanging out over here. All right.
Get on here, Mitchie.
Yeah, Mitch, get over here. All right. Here we go.
It's
What?
the man himself.
Hey guys, I can hear you.
Yeah.
Morning.
I'm Mitch, by the way.
Jim,
Yeah,
good
nice
to meet you.
Yeah.
Hey, Mitch, I'm
Hey,
Sarah.
I'm Mitch,
Yeah.
Sarah. Oh, hey, Jim.
Yeah.
Oh, hey.
So, yeah, oh, hey.
What's up, Desert Racer?
Yeah, right. I'm coming into your world now.
Yeah, you're about to get whooped on. I'm just
It
kidding.
is funny, though. So, yeah, I go to James Hill to build my new Razor, and he goes, what do you want the cage to look like? And I sent him a picture of Mitch's car.
Did you really?
The funniest thing
That's
is
a
Jim's
compliment.
like, we're gonna go so simple with this build. It's gonna be pretty much stock. And then I show up at IMG one day and I see this car and I'm like,
Carbon fiber interior
this is
and all this
not
other
even
stuff.
close to stock. I
That's
was like,
what-
this is a race car.
That's what they all say. Like, the desert race car is just not easy.
Yeah. Well, I was like, poor James, you know, I was like, all right, we got to get a budget for this thing, right? I'm like, so what he's like, okay, it's going to cost this much to build the car. I'm like, okay. So I give him a check for that. And so, like, last week, the car's done, and, like, they worked overtime and called in extra guys to wire it and everything. And James calls me, and he's like, hey, so we're a little bit over budget. He's like, do you mind giving me a little bit more? And you know what I mean? And I'm like, dude, like, I was expecting that call. There was no way you were going to stay within budget.
That call always happens.
Yeah.
Like, I was just waiting for the call because I got carried away. It wasn't James's fault. It was me. It was like, no, we got to do this and that, and this and that. And I was like, oh, man, things get spiraled out of control.
Nothing goes as planned, for
No.
sure.
But it's cool, like, looking at your guys' cars. You guys keep it simple. Like, you and your dad just tweak on those things in the garage and perfect them. And
Yeah.
it's really cool. And it's also really cool to see your guys' rock crawling cars because you guys are standing out of the, like, totally. You guys have everything that's out of the box in the car, and you try new things all the time. And it's you guys kind of set, I think, the foundation of the line. Kind of like you want to go this far, but you don't want to go too far. And you guys found that medium, I feel like.
Yeah, that's I think, like, with the cars, and I don't know, you may have done it too, is we try and keep it somewhat simple and, use a lot of stock parts and just kind of keep everything moving well. And I think that's a big part of it, not overdoing it, which a lot of people do.
I know. It's like even us, we kept the firewall and the floorboard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's a cutout for the brake pedal so I can run a bigger brake pedal, But, like, it's, a lot of it is similar to your car where a lot of the stock parts, like, there's aftermarket stuff like rear knuckles that you can get that are billet and things, but it's like the Polaris stuff is fine. Like, you don't need to upgrade it, And so that's kind of what we went along those lines. And, because I think this class can get spiraled out of control in a hurry if we don't if we don't keep things in check.
You got to be on time too. That's I think half the cars that are probably here are either brand new or haven't been tested, and they're testing tonight at 12 o'clock. So it's like, you got to stay on time and keep your car together, which is pretty tough.
I think I've got maybe about 30, 40 test miles on our car now, which is. There's still some tuning with the suspension we need to do and stuff, but it's like first race, like let's just get it to the finish line,
Yeah, that's all that matters.
You guys have figured your car out, though. New car last year. You coming off a win. It's got to feel pretty good, finally breaking through and getting that win.
Yeah, exactly. Last year we were finding issues all year long, and it was a tough one. But the desert, I mean, I'm sure we'll go through it. The desert racing, or you've been in desert racing for a while, but there was a lot for us to learn, and we got the car finally dialed in. And now it's like, I'm happy because it's up to me to drive the car and not have to worry about something breaking. So that's the biggest thing, really.
Yeah, now you're the guy with the target on your back, right? Points leader, right? So it's like you're the points leader going into the minute, starting first. Like, it's a pretty, I don't know, any pressure?
Yeah, I actually like it. Like, a lot of people like being able to pace off people and stuff like that. But, I mean, I hope I can, be fast enough to start first, keep the car together, and leave everyone. I mean, that's at least the perfect race for me, so hopefully that's how it goes.
Yeah, and it's like, I don't know, it's crazy the minute. It's all classes. I mean, 6100's the same way, but it's like there's always somebody like the first lap, but it's not necessarily the first guy off the line, but there's somebody that's like 120% lap one, and they're going to check out, and they're going to have a 15-minute lead on everybody else. Everyone's like, oh, they're flying, and then by lap 2 or 3, it's like, where'd they go? Oh, they're sitting on the side of the course.
They broke.
Yeah.
Well, and the thing I tell people is, like, you got 106 cars or something, I think it was, and I mean, one of them's going to make it and be able to do that. So, I mean, you never know, but, you never know where they are in the pack. So, hopefully they're back there somewhere.
But that's kind of a good thing, though. Like in moto days, like that was the same thing. You get ahead fast. You kind of do your fast few laps. You get a good little head, of everyone. And then you just kind of back it off a little bit and keep it together until you hit the checkered.
Yeah.
One thing I've learned about starting out front like you, though, is you can actually control the pace of the race. Because people are in your dust, and so there's ways for you, if you don't want to really run that elite pace, there's ways for you to, be able to control and keep everybody behind you and not really push your car. So you're really in the driver's seat for this whole thing,
Yeah, that's
no pressure.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks, guys. Let's talk about it some more.
No, so I'm in your class. I'm playing mind games here, right?
Yeah, I forgot about that. No, last year I figured that out.
We're no longer friends, right? He's like, oh, shoot, we can't talk no more.
It's all a game.
Yeah.
No, really, that's what I figured out last year is, the pitting strategy. That's like the biggest part of it. I mean, you could drive the car, but if you don't have a crew and some type of crazy strategy to be able to pull it off, it's not going to work out for you. So
yeah, a lot of people don't realize how important the crew is and what that strategy is like. Especially everybody's got their own pit plan, and sometimes those make the big difference.
Yep,
for sure.
You have Big Mitch out there.
Yeah, you got my
down.
crew chief Mitch Sr. out there holding it down for sure.
See, your dad's always the threat because he's like, I don't like what he's doing. I'll kick my kid out. I'm going to drive a car.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
And the thing is, your dad can drive, so it's like
he's signed up as a driver in case I need it. So everyone watch out in case he hops in.
Yeah, right.
I was going to say, are you guys going to build a second desert car like you guys do at King of the Hammers?
I don't know if I could put up with that much work. One car we barely get ready every time, so I think 2 would be pushing it for sure. But sounds like a good idea.
Yeah.
It's a good on paper, right? It's like in process, it's like, maybe not so much.
Yeah, double the work isn't too good.
Yeah, double the money, too. Talk to Dad about that.
Yeah, but you guys are always winning everything and getting some just cars one after another. Like at all these events that they give away cars at, I'm like, man, they already have some badass race cars, and now they're just
learned.
At another one.
The Guthries, like they sit there and they podium. Oh, Polaris is giving away a free car to the winner. We're going to win this one. That's
exactly.
It's like they dangle that free razor out, and the Guthries are like, oh, we're winning this race.
Hey, it's a good bonus.
Yeah.
It's a good bonus. We need it.
Like, for a while, I think your dad was telling me you were literally running out of garage space. Like you had razors just all over.
I need a shop right now. That's for sure. I need more garage space to work on stuff. There's too many simultaneous things going on at once.
I feel your pain.
You guys are up in Jim Riley's neighborhood too. You guys are in Glendora, right?
Yeah. Okay, right on. Yep. My office on Vermont, been in Glendora the last couple of years. So
okay, cool.
Great little sleeper town.
Yeah.
With not big enough shops.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe we should just go in on a shop because I'm looking at property right now to build one. Actually, I was going to be calling your dad.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
Looks like we got a plan going. All right, I like it.
Signs of deal.
It's
Because it's perfect. Because then we have your dad. To, you can work on my stuff and set it up for those little extra secret stuff.
Okay. All right. We'll be talking soon.
All right.
You see where this is headed, right?
You're going to pick your brain, your dad's brain is what's going to happen there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
They have the secrets that win. It's proven.
Yeah. Nobody's going to argue with the Guthries, that's for sure. Your dad is like, well, and I know you guys are good friends with the Campbells, but your dad was the king of the hammers and UTVs, and then you got Shannon that's the king, and and you guys are all friends, and then now they're in the UTV side of things, and they took the win in UTVs, but it's like, you look at King of the Hammers in certain divisions, and your dad and the Guthrie name, you guys are right there as far as UTV goes,
Yeah, and that's actually a funny story because one of the razors we actually sold, you were talking about selling razors, we sold to Shannon, the very first razor he got, and that thing now has probably like 3,000 or 4,000 miles on it, and that he fell in love with it, kept building stuff, and then eventually this year we kind of hooked him up and got him with Polaris, and now they're winning King of the Hammers. So it's pretty cool that
created a monster
less than a year. Exactly, they're getting out of the Ultra 4 stuff, and they're looking at all these razors, thinking, what were we thinking? So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, well. And the Campbell kids too, man. Both of those are shredders. It's like you got to look out. So
yeah,
they are a great family. It's really cool. It's kind of it's very similar to you and your dad. You have Shannon out there with his 2 kids, and Bailey, and It's rad, I think. And they're just fun, enthusiastic, you know, like your dad's out there going for it, doesn't even care, just like, hell no, I'm beating you, I'm beating Mitchie.
Yeah, it's a good time when we're out there like King of the Hammers. Last year, we're racing with another good friend, Blake Vandeloo, and we're just flipping each other off during the race, like just having a good time. And it's the same thing with the Campbells, you know, like we're all family, so it's just fun racing with them. It makes it not a race for us. We're all just having fun.
Yeah, nothing less than a good time with the Guthries always.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks a lot, Mitch, for stopping by, buddy. Good luck tomorrow, and I'll let you control that pace. I'll just tuck in behind and run your pace, and we're good.
Watch out for Jim, right?
When you
if
get
I
up
can
to
run
me,
his pace, I will be proud of myself. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Like, if I could pace with him, like I'm happy.
just don't hit me too hard tomorrow, all right, guys?
Let's just keep it together.
Yeah,
Thanks, guys.
exactly. All right. Thanks a lot,
Bye.
Mitch. Take it easy, buddy. Yeah, the Guthries, man, just legends in UTV racing, and we got. Hey, Sims! I'm yelling in the mic, and we got Brandon Sims over there.
What's?
Yeah, we got Brandon Sims. We got more UTV guys.
There you go. It's going to be the UTV show pretty soon.
Yeah, no, we got more guys coming in. We got Ray Griffith.
UTVs kind of are taking over, man.
We got a mix of General Tire guys, and we got a mix of UTV guys on this show. So it's like a really good mix. We got Ray Griffith coming up here in a bit. And I don't know, Ray's going to be fun, and I don't know. You got some big news to drop here. We got like a 10-minute segment after Brandon, and I'm really excited about the Jim Riley news.
Right,
man, I'm excited.
It's not really race news, but it's news. Okay,
it's news. Right? We got Brandon Sims here, so we're talking a little smack there with Mitch Guthrie. But you know how to win the Mint 400, dude. You are a Mint 400 winner.
I am.
You are.
I am. I did something right last year, and it worked. So we're going to try to do it again.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you have like a target on your back?
Yes, I do. And I've had that a few times. The World Championship, I also felt that way, and that one didn't turn out so well. So hopefully my luck this time, going for two wins at the same event will happen. The last time it didn't work so well, so we're going to see how it goes this time.
Yeah. Well, talking with Mitch, too, it's like, regardless of the class, be UTV, 6100, trick truck, there's somebody on lap one that steps out, and they run that crazy pace, and then they're always parked, But like Mitch was saying, he's like, what's scary is there's 100 UTVs. There's 50 trophy trucks. There's 50 6100. So there's somebody that's going to step out and run that pace, and they're going to get lucky and not break, and they're going to run it all day long and win.
Yeah, exactly. The last race, Parker, the 250, I lost second place by 8 seconds. And I thought I was running a fast pace, but somebody came from way behind. And I never saw him, because I crossed the line before they did, but 8 seconds, separated us on corrected time. So it's a little unfortunate because, yes, with 100 cars, it's going to be hard for your team to keep track of, say, somebody that's, 80th or 90th and keeping track to see where they're at, So that corrected time thing is going to be a big deal for us. So it'll be interesting to see how it pans out at the end of the day.
That's a lot of cars to track and see where everybody's at, especially in that class.
Exactly, yeah.
106 entries, right, is what they came up with?
Yeah, in total. It's mixed over like 2 or 3 divisions, but still a massive amount of entries.
That is insane.
Yeah, it is. It'll be interesting to see how it goes,
Yeah, so your car, too, I know a lot of guys are switching over 2017 and things like that. You're running your same car from last year, correct?
This car is I actually built it in 2015, I want to say, the end of 2015. I had it for the Parker Blue Water Desert Challenge. That was my first race in 2015 with it. So it's going on almost 2 years old, and I actually just changed a bunch of parts on it. I updated it to 2017 engine, transmission, differential, the plastic. So basically it all looks like a 2017 now. But it is a few years old now, so it'll be interesting to see how it works. Because this car, this chassis, the suspension, everything on it's got about almost 5,000 race miles on it. So
wow.
It's done Baja 1000, the 500, the Mint 4. It's got a lot of big races, so it's going to be. I'm curious to see how everything holds up. It's been great so far. So I'm a little nervous with the new power plant, with the extra power that we're going to be pushing. I didn't have much time to test with it, so. I'm hoping with my experience with the UTVs and stuff that I was able to dial it in exactly how I wanted it. So it's going to be it'll be interesting to see how tomorrow goes.
Yeah. So and at Parker you didn't have the new power plant, right? That's all.
No, I was running the same power plant that I'd been running. That motor had like 4,000 miles on it. So and there was nothing wrong with it. I just took it out because I know so many people are changing to the 2017 engine that I wanted to be. I always want to be at top of the class. So whatever it's going to take and. I don't know if that's going to be it or not, or if just the reliable setup that I had was perfect, but we're going to see.
Yeah, well, here's the question for you, because, I I look at guys, I've had this conversation with a lot of people, and I'm like, I look at guys in the UTV class, and you specifically, you've won just about everything there is to win in a UTV at this point. I know that, so it's like, what's next? Because obviously you can wheel, are you eyeing like, car and truck divisions? I mean, is there any like long-term idea like, hey, I'd love to go, race 6100 or something like that? Or are you pretty happy in the UTVs?
I've been asked that question a lot. I had the opportunity when Johnny was first starting a 6100 truck up. He was, he kind of gave me the option, if I was interested in being another driver with him in his truck. And it basically came down to, he said he wasn't quite sure if that was going to be something he'd be continuing on with, whereas racing the UTVs where I'm at is something that is growing, and it's such a big class. And he said, you need to make a decision. And he said, if I were you, I would sticking with UTVs. I mean, you're guaranteed to continue racing there. I don't know what's going to happen next year with my truck, And obviously he's done really well, and he's grown. But it's just so hard to say. I like the UTV class. I like the competition that we have. I love the huge entries that we have. I'm really close friends with a lot of the UTV guys. So I don't know. I would have to wait for that opportunity to come to see if exactly what I was going to do. I don't know at this point. I mean, but if the right opportunity arises, I'd jump at it.
For sure.
I feel like being in the UTVs, you kind of have a good foundation for driving. Like in these things, they're not easy to drive.
No.
Like I know a lot of people can just buy them. They think they can get in them and wheel them really good, but you have to have experience and you have to know how to drive smooth and consistent and know when to push it and when to back off.
Yeah, we have a little less suspension, a lot smaller tires in the bigger trucks. I know when I talk to the truck guys that they're able to point and go wherever they want to go. We have to use a little bit more finesse, and that's a big part of it is using the finesse to go through all these tracks, with our machines. So, I think, and what I've noticed is a lot of the UTV teams, a lot of them come from quads and dirt bikes and stuff, and it seems like the people that came from the quads and dirt bikes, that background, they seem to do really well in the UTV stuff. I did a lot of quad stuff before I switched into the UTV, so I think the people with that kind of background really transition into the UTV class really well.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree with that because you look at lines a little differently. Like in moto days, like you're trained a specific way and you're tested. You're working hard every single day at that, and
exactly.
It transfers into the car. You push harder into a corner to go smoother through it to come out. But
exactly, yep.
You can't just take hits. You have to look out for rocks, look way far ahead. And,
exactly.
Because these cars are going to break if you hit something that you're not supposed to be hitting.
Exactly.
Yeah. Awesome. So what's up next for you? Obviously, you're running Best in the Desert. You're doing a little bit of score stuff. Terracross, we're going to see you back there. What's the plans?
I was King of the Hammers was the one race. When you're talking about races that I was that I've got left to win, that's one of the big ones that I really wanted, and I felt more prepared this year than anything. And we had a failure due to some prep issues, and unfortunately it took us out of the race pretty early. Well, we finished, but it ended our day pretty quickly for us. So that's one race I want to get at. But, yes, I'm going to be running, obviously, the entire Best in the Desert series. Hopefully we can back up our championship win that we had last year. We're going to do the Score Baja 500 and the Score Baja 1000. And I'm going to see if I can mix anything else in between there. I mean, I've got a pretty full schedule, and I still work a day job. So, I mean, I'm pretty limited at this point. As much as I would love to just race every race I could, right now it's really cutting into my sleep. And, I don't know if I get much of that anymore. Yeah. But, yes, if there's events at the Terracross that Joe Duncan wants to throw at us, I would love to, fly up there. And those ones are a little bit more relaxing. I don't have to work on the car. I get to go beat it up.
Yep.
We can have some beers in the evening in the heydays. And
the way it is now, me and one other guy do all the prep on the car. So, I mean, we're strung out pretty limited. So, I mean, when I can go somewhere, drive a car and get out of it and let somebody else worry about it, I'm enjoying those kind of races. So, yeah, I'd love to go do a little Terracross if I can, squeeze that in somewhere.
I got to get you in a Terracross car. Arrive and drive in UTV.
Yeah, I keep looking at it.
Dude, that'd be perfect. Yeah, it's good TV. Big Azunia logo on the side of the car. Good branding. Big party at heydays. I think we could have an Azunia party there in Minnesota.
Oh, yeah. Sounds like a good plan.
Yeah, we're going to make that deal happen. I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to put in a call to Joe Duncan and say, we need to get Jim in a car at
Mark
heydays.
that down, okay?
Yeah,
it is blast. We do have a good time,
Yeah, Terracross is always a good time. We're always hanging out, doing some fun stuff.
Yeah.
But, bringing up King of the Hammers, I was bummed when I passed you, and I was like, man, I expected you to be way up front and never seeing you, but... Yeah.
It was an embarrassment. I was bummed. I was beyond bummed. I mean, we had a good qualifying run. I was there earlier than I've ever been before. I've never pre-ran any race in my whole life. Not any Baja 1000, nothing, and done well. This time I go to King of the Hammers. I'm there like 3 days earlier than I should have been. I pre-ran multiple times. I had the pre-runner had no issues. I had every trail dialed. I knew exactly where I needed to go, and the fastest lines. And then, qualifying we did well. And then race day came, and 2 bolts that nuts didn't get tightened on, and ended my 3 miles in. I found out which 2 bolts it was, and then we got it back together, and the leaders were passing me going onto their second lap when I got it back together. So I got the car back together because I did it for myself, and I wanted to, I wasn't going to give up at that point. So I was basically a sweeper because I found a lot of carnage out there. I helped out as many people as I could. There was cars upside down. I wasn't going for a win, so I was out there helping people that were out there for their first time and help them enjoy it, because there's nothing worse than being stuck out there by yourself and not knowing what to do. So I flipped a few guys over, and I ran the car as hard as I could because I was curious to see how it would do. And we had a flawless rest of the day, actually. And we ended up getting 30th, so we did finish, and we get a 30th, but not exactly where I wanted to be, especially after having 2 second places there and knowing that I was, in the runnings to be a top contender there. So hopefully we can get our program together for next year and go back and do it again and make sure it's all perfect. Just with how the time schedule I've had lately, we tried to bust out a car too quick, and it just didn't happen how I wanted it to. So next year it is.
Yep.
Well, thanks a lot for stopping by, buddy.
Thank you.
We'll see you tomorrow out at the racetrack.
Sounds good, buddy.
Yeah.
We'll
good luck out there.
Thank you. I'm going to push it hard, and hopefully we can back up a win. So I'm going to try to get that two-peat for the UTV class. I don't think anybody's done that yet. So
we'll be cheering for you.
Cool. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
All righty. Good luck.
See you guys tomorrow.
The competition's getting tough out there, man.
Yeah. That UTV class, it's insane. It's competitive.
Yeah, hey, Jim, just for some of the listeners and myself, I know UTVs aren't new, but all of a sudden the last couple of years, this class is just really blown up. I mean, what's the appeal, and what are some of the top speeds on those vehicles and stuff? Because I don't think enough people know the details about that class. They just know it's growing, and everybody's having a good time.
I know, like at the Parker 250, the lead time was averaging almost 60 miles an hour in a UTV. So we're talking, if you look at the overall picture, UTVs are now mixing in with the Class 10 cars. Yeah. And to me, that's just mind-blowing that, But, I look at my new build that James at IMG did, and it looks like a miniature Class 1 car. So it's like, it's pushing, we're like at 180 horsepower, and thing will go 100 miles an hour, So it's like, I don't know. I mean, they're just miniature Class 1 cars is what they are. It's been pretty crazy, but they're a little bit more affordable. And there's a lot of sponsorship dollars in UTV racing, and there's a lot of media attention right now.
Yeah, so that's for sure. Well, I know at Vegas to Reno, because it's such a long race, if you have one problem in our class, you're going to get behind traffic. And I remember halfway through day 2, still catching up to UTVs going, oh, my gosh, I never expected them to be this far up in the pack. And they're just hauling,
Yeah, no, these cars are pushing 100, and so that's insane to see these small vehicles, which they're not so small anymore. Like you're saying, yours is like a miniature Class 1 car. These cars are as big as a Class 10 car.
Yeah.
And so they're building them to that extent where they're trying to get as much wheelbase as they can to get through the whoops smoother and get some travel going. But, yeah, it's getting faster and faster, too.
All right, I think we're going to take a 2 or 3 minute break. When we come back, I know we got Ryan Piplick, Ray Griffith, Tanner Foust, Jolene Van Vught. Got some celebrity action coming in here, but when we come back, you got some news to drop, so I'm kind of excited about that. But we're going to take a breather here, get something to drink. We'll be back in about 2 or 3 minutes here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR, live from the Mint 400.
Hey, I'm RJ Anderson, factory Polaris driver, and I drive Polaris because it's the most capable, race-ready off-road vehicle on the market.
When R.J. Anderson wanted to set a world record for the longest UTV jump in history, not once but twice, what company did he trust? Polaris and their championship-winning RZR XP 1000. R.J. is a UTV champion behind the wheel of Polaris vehicles, and he exclusively trusts the Polaris RZRs to bring him race wins and championships against some of the toughest off-road racers in the world. The same Polaris RZRs RJ has won championships in, set world records in, and conquered the Wall of Death in XP1K2 are available to you at your local Polaris dealer. Take the advice of world record holder RJ Anderson and visit Polaris on the web at Polaris.com to see the full lineup of Polaris RZR vehicles, or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Polaris RZR. For 100 years, General Tire has provided tires for your lifestyle, your adventure, your anywhere. Born from competition, the Grabber tire offers the durability and off-road traction you demand in a tire. We put these tires to the test in the harshest off-road racing conditions to give you a tire that will make your anywhere possible. So let us take you on your next big adventure. Tweet us photos at General Tire, hashtag anywhere is possible. Because with General Tire, anywhere is possible. Are you looking for a place to push yourself behind the wheel and see how your driving skills stack up? Dirtfish Rally School is that place. Located on 315 acres of pristine automotive playground at the foot of the Cascade Mountains in Snoqualmie, Washington, right outside of Seattle, Dirtfish Rally School is a one-of-a-kind place where everyone from first-time drivers to seasoned professionals like Bucky Lassick and Antoine Lestage can push themselves to their limit. Whether driving the high-performance, rally-prepped all-wheel drive Subaru Impreza STI is what you're looking for, or you'd rather hang it all out in the rear-wheel drive Subaru BRZs, Dirtfish Rally School has something for everyone. Classes are available from 2 hours to 3 full days and feature instructors with over 150 years of combined racing experience. Whether you're looking to become the best and get an edge on the competition, or just looking to freshen your skills behind the wheel, Dirtfish Rally School is the place to go. For more information on registering for classes, visit Dirtfish on the web at dirtfish.com, or to check out the latest happenings from Dirtfish, follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Dirtfish Rally. Since 1970, KC Highlights has been designing and manufacturing performance lighting for off-road and motorsports, beginning with the legendary Daylighter up until today's revolutionary Flex, Pod, and Pro 6 lighting systems. KC Highlights offers a full line of halogen, HID, and LED lighting solutions for your off-road vehicle. Looking for the best quality lighting? Looking for the brand champions choose? You're looking for KC Highlights. Find out more information at kchighlights.com, or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at KC Highlights. All right, welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR. Jim Beaver, Jim Riley, Sarah Price. We got Ryan Piplick sitting here. But before we get to Ryan Piplick, I know, Jim, you've got some news you've been, I don't know, I don't even know about this, so I'm kind of excited. You said it's not race-related, but you got some news to drop. I want to know what's going on here.
Well, the thing, we've known each other for so long now. We're always talking about work and things that we do in our off-race life. So thought I would share with you today. So as you know, I started Azuñia Tequila about 8 years ago now, and things have just been wonderful over there. And really, it started the company and the race community, and everybody's been so supportive. So fortunate to have this race family. But I stepped away last month as a CEO and took a severance, and just enjoying time with my girls. So I'm still a major shareholder in the tequila company, but not working anymore, so I can focus a little bit more on the family and come out and race a little bit more often. Already talking about doing the 500. And then I'm doing a big project with Blue Sea Advertising, the guys over there. We're going to start importing some wines up from the Valley of Guadalupe and then donating the money back to the orphanages down there.
How cool.
So neat little project. As you may have seen before, we do a lot with the orphanages. We go down there to race and just want to make it more of a regular thing for those people down there. So that's the big news.
Well, congratulations, man. And I mean, knowing, I laughed because you say severance package or something it wasn't like you were let go or something like that. But, it's pretty awesome to be where you're at in that position. Have two amazing little girls. I love your wife, Sam.
Thanks.
You guys are family, and it's like, it's great to be able to see you be so successful that you can go and take a step back and say, you know what, I'm going to do more stuff with the family, and it's really cool to be in that position to be able to do that.
Yeah, very fortunate. It's funny because a lot of people are like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, I've never been better." Are you kidding? They don't understand the dynamics of being able to step away as an employee and still have an ownership of a company.
Yeah, you're still the face of Azuñia. People think of Azuñia, they think of Azuñia Jim. That's your nickname. And it's like you're not going anywhere. You're still going to represent the brand. It's just
Well, you get advice from people when you have kids, and you were just talking about having another one, right? They always say the time goes by fast and don't miss them growing up and stuff like that. So I really took that serious. It's like, okay, well, I don't want to miss them. I've got a 1-year-old and a 3-year-old girl.
I got 3-year-old twins, and I got another one on the way August. So you get to that 3-year-old mark, and that is where I'm having the most fun right now. They're so involved with everything, and problem is they adapt to everything you say.
Yeah,
so
right.
I have a bad mouth, so every time I say it, they just pull it right out and they're calling me out on it.
Talk about watching your language,
That's really cool,
right?
though. That's really awesome to see you kind of step back and realize, like, hey, let me put the work aside. Let me focus on things that truly matter in life, and then pursue your passion, too, for racing. Have them more involved.
Yeah, well, they love coming out to the races. And, this is a family sport for most people. And, that's how we've gotten to know Jim so well, is the families and stuff like that. So, take it to heart. Talk about it. Just go do it. And that's where we're at. So really happy to be there. It's been a month. It's funny though. I feel like I've been busier now than I've ever been. Right
now, you're going to get to see what your wife's been doing for the past couple of years. You're like, man, I owe her a lot of credit. She's been working her butt off.
Seriously.
And you're already talking about racing more, so you're going to keep adding on to that.
Now it's going to be like you're spending too much time in the garage. When are you going to come inside? I get it every day.
That's the thing, though. I mean, your wife loves racing as much as you do. She's always out at the event. She has a good time, being out there, and it's been a family thing for you guys.
She does. You really have to have a supportive family in what we do. I mean, 6-8 events a year, depending on what you're doing. It's a lot of work and effort, and you're running a team of people. We've got 17 people on our team. So, everybody's got to be all in, right?
Yep.
All right, so we got congrats.
Thank you, guys.
Buddy.
Appreciate it.
Got Ryan Piplick sitting down, another factory Polaris Razor driver. Kind of bouncing out here to the desert. You've been doing the work stuff for quite a while, but this is a desert program debut, right?
Yeah, well, I did the Parker, but we didn't have the car ready, so we basically slammed a works car together and just said, you know what, we got to get points. So we did some modifications that made it legal, and this is actually my Best in Desert debut in my new car. Long Travels Industries built it, so really excited, and I think I'm going head first into this pond. It's crazy out here.
It's going to be a little bit different.
Yeah. I know you and I were on a call, I don't know, about a week ago we chatted or something like that. It's like you were saying, it's like, I mean, it's so crazy with this turbo class, and it's like first race, your car's got about as many test miles as mine, which isn't a ton, and it's like, just go out there and run consistent this first race and, get one under your belt. It's like, and I'm already thinking, I see Mitch and I see Brandon, and it's like, man, I want to go out there and run. And I'm like, just be smart, let's get some miles on this car.
I drove the car first time yesterday out at Apex, so I got like 20 miles on the car. I just did a quick shakedown, so I'm going to be out there the first 100 miles. I'm just going to be like, you know what? Figure this car out, learn the program, see how it works out, and then you can start pushing a little bit harder. But everyone keeps saying you got to finish to get points, so drive smart.
Yeah, It's not so short like a works race. And, you have a long history of racing. You come from the quads, and then you get into the side-by-sides, and you've raced works for, my first race, you were already a veteran in there, so that's about
2004. I started racing works, and I'm still racing it. So, that program, I've basically put in some time on that one. So I've won multiple championships, and I'm ready to get out and try doing something a little different. I'm really excited to get in Best in the Desert.
Yeah, the desert program's going to be a little bit slower, I think. You're going to have to – that's the hardest thing, I think, coming from racers like us on short course. You're so used to just, I need to get that sprint in. It's a sprint. It basically is for us. And coming into this, it's a longevity. It's a long race. You got to put that in your brain and be able to, tone it down a little bit. But it's hard when you're a racer.
Absolutely. I'll be excited to start breathing and take a breath. Usually you're holding your breath during works, and you're like – oh my gosh, I'm done. And this one, I'll be like, just kick my arms back, take a relax and sip a drink.
I don't know, 100 cars out there in you guys' class. You're going to have to be on your A game, So good place to start racing off-road. Come in at 400.
Yeah, I saw 52 in our class. We drew 26, so dead middle of the Pro Turbo class. So
How many was the total for our class?
52.
52? I think I start 15th, so I'm – yeah, it's one of those. I don't know if it's good or bad with this brand new program. It's like
15th with 9:15 on your car.
Yeah.
I know he stole my number. I called.
I heard about this.
and they gave me room 1215 at the casino this
last
night.
God, that's
good
luck.
That's why I was like, there's something going on here. Like,
hey, just don't finish 15th, all right?
So then, what are you running then? What number?
I've actually got 925. Couldn't figure out, and I just basically called them up, and there was 5 numbers available. And I was like, I'll take 925.
Well,
it's crazy when you call
25.
Best in the Desert for a number and there's only 5 left. and each class has 100 given numbers. But I think 6100 is probably getting that way too, where there's no numbers left, right?
There's over 75 motors tagged right now, so
it's crazy.
I don't know where we go from there.
Wow.
So, what do you expect out here? I mean, Mid 400, this is not an easy one to debut a new car at, dude. I mean,
no, I'm going in with an open mind. Everyone tells me that the first lap's going to be chaotic, so I'm just going to go with an open mind. I might just back off a little bit and just kind of chase some people around for the first lap, but after the first lap, that's going to be like, okay, I got my feet wet. Let's just kind of go into more mentality of like, hey, let's try and win this thing.
Yeah, let the race come to you a little bit, then push second, third lap. I don't know, smart plan. What's your plan, Jim? I mean, you've raced this a ton of times. I mean, you and I, neither one of us have figured it out quite yet. I know 2 years ago you had an amazing first lap.
Yeah, well, we had an amazing race, and we were in the lead all the way to the last 18 miles, and we lost the rear end. So we had a great day going. But, with this course is everything that people tell you it is. It's rough, and there's some, good obstacles out there. And then the Martellis want to do a great job of marketing your jumps and everything, so they give you the pit to work with, which is terrible. The rocks are going to be coming out because they grade it, so you can have a little bit of everything out there. I wish you a lot of luck on that.
Well, I'm glad we're going first. We only got 300 miles to go, so you doing 400. Hopefully we'll tear it up a little bit for you guys. And
It'll be a lot of fun out there, but you got to be cautious. It's a long race and a lot of attrition, I'm sure, in your class as well. And these guys do everything to throw hard stuff at you.
Yeah, I got Justin Lambert starting right behind me, so everyone keeps saying, watch out for that Warhammer. And
Lambert likes to lay pipe. He's not scared to use the bumper.
Yeah, I got a nice bumper, so I might let him by and just, see how it goes, and maybe I'll have to use mine to pay some respects and, give somebody some love.
Yeah, I've never taken you for not being aggressive, so it's always a good time watching you on the track because you never know, like, hey, if you're in my way, I'm getting you out of my way, and I'm going to get in front of you somehow.
Yeah. I usually find my way. I generally don't hit people. That's what I really don't like to do.
I hate, it does as much damage to your car as it does the guy you're hitting. So
absolutely.
Yeah, when you're paying bills to replace bumpers and stuff, it's like I'm very cautious when I hit people, because I'm like, guys in the shop, they just give me crap. It's like, oh, really? Because our balance gets screwed up and everything. It's like, it's not fun to hit anybody,
Yeah, I got a small 2-car garage, so when it comes back to working on stuff, I don't got a mechanic taking care of it. So every time I do something stupid, I'm always in the garage. I'm like, oh, why did I do that?
Yeah, you're the one that has to fix it. In stadium trucks, man, we hit a lot.
That's about giving a good show.
Yeah. You're coming in on each other, just dooring each other, and just how you pass on that stuff. But it's encouraged almost, though, in that.
Well, you just send it back to Robbie and say fix it, and it's all good from there on out.
So those mechanics work hard.
Yeah. Well, thanks a lot for stopping by, Ryan. Good luck tomorrow, buddy.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah,
have a great time out there.
And congrats on the new baby.
Oh, thank you. So when are we going to see one coming?
Not anytime soon. I got race cars.
That's right. Those are your babies.
Takes enough time.
All right. Well, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for having me on.
Good luck. Have a good time.
Thank you.
All right, looks like we got Ray Griffith over here. I think all of us know Ray a bit.
Yeah. Hey, it's just great to sit here and watch all the cars go by, man. Just a little bit of everything today.
Do you see this one right in front of us? It's like an old school caddy, going to the surf.
So that's the Spec Trophy Light, the 4-cylinder Spec class. That's
actually the old Woody, the Woody feel to it. Right. The Woody wagon feel. Yeah.
Yeah, I got the rundown on that. I was at the Safecraft rig, and they were telling me all about it, and pretty interesting.
Well, it's a very affordable class to get into if you've never raced before. It gives you a chance to go out. They rent them, so you come out and do one race, see if you like it, and then buy it. It was one of the first race cars I personally owned. We won 2 championships.
What are we dragging behind it here?
It's like a teddy bear or something.
Oh, man.
There has to be a story with that truck.
He's out here to have a good time.
Yeah.
So we got Ray Griffith here, and I was talking to Sarah, and she's like, oh, I know Ray, and everybody knows Ray.
I don't know if that's a good thing. But
well, he actually showed up to, I think, my birthday or something at my parents' house one time. That's how I met him.
Yep. Random, huh?
Yeah.
No, that's I make my ways around, I guess. It's all right.
It's all right. It's good to be known in the industry, right?
Known in the industry. One way or another. Definitely. You got to be there. Can't be shy, right?
Yeah.
No.
So good to have you back with General Tire. Welcome home, my friend.
That's it. Feels good, huh?
Definitely feels good. It feels good to be back in the family, and just like that, it feels good to be home, So I'm stoked on it.
I had that with a sponsor a couple years ago, and I was with somebody for a long time, and I spent 2 years someplace else, and then went back, and it feels good to be home, and once in a while we make stupid mistakes and go someplace else, and it's like you don't realize it until you do, and then you're back, and it's like, oh, life is good now.
Yeah,
exactly.
And General does a great job of taking care of all of us. They've always been there for me, and this is my 6th year with General, and no complaints. And everybody's got their tire arguments.
Yeah.
But at the level that we're all racing, it's a lot of the driver.
Yeah.
The equipment's going to hold up. So welcome back. Good to have you.
Definitely, it feels good. It's it'll be good.
Yeah, and from a street tire standpoint, that X3 on the road's awesome. I'm running that on my daily driver. That new tire they've got is just great.
I'm running them on my Razors, on my daily driver. I've got them on everything.
Yeah.
I ran them yesterday qualifying.
Oh, you did? Wow.
Yeah, so we're throwing some big horsepower to them, and they're doing really good. They hook and pull extremely hard.
Well, I see you're wearing a red line hat, so I'm guessing, you're definitely putting some power to them.
Yeah. No, we got Redline on board, and they built me a Bullet for the Mint here, and it is extremely fast. So I think between that and the X3, it's going to be pretty dominant.
Yeah, good combination.
Tomorrow.
Awesome.
Yeah.
How'd you do in qualifying?
We qualified second buggy, 13th overall, and we were back in the pack. We drew 74 out of 78, so the course was pretty chewed up by the time we got to it. And it was a truck course. I mean, I'll say it was a truck course, but we tried to keep that buggy up there with them, and I think we'll definitely give them a run for their money.
Yeah, great.
It was rough.
Yeah, that's what
really
I've heard,
rough.
and I've seen quite a bit of carnage coming out of qualifying, actually, like a few barrel rolls.
Yeah, that was Rossler, I think. Was it Rossler?
I didn't hear.
Rossler, yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
Rossler had a. He actually, it was like 2 rolls, landed on his wheels, put the hammer down, and kept going.
Of course
I
he
saw
did,
that,
right?
yeah.
That was some short course style.
Yeah,
there. Land on the wheels.
Don't skip a beat.
That
If
is
you
a
land,
racer, though.
go.
If you land on the wheels,
Keep going.
It's like you put it in gear, and it's like, can we go? Can we go? And then you don't know if the wheels are still under you or not. But if you're right side up, it's like we're gonna try.
You got to try it.
Yeah,
we're gonna try.
Feels okay. Keep going. No, it's
You gotta
funny.
try it.
Everybody we qualified a couple times in the 6100 class. Everybody's like, "Are you guys going to qualify?" I'm like, "Look, I don't want to qualify. Okay, you break your stuff out there."
Yeah.
That was definitely going through my mind yesterday, especially being that far back in the pack. You're watching everybody, and you're watching them crash, and you're watching cars get towed off, and all that's going through your mind. It's a long race. It's a Mint 400. You know what I mean? It's rough in itself. So that qualifying course was so rough that you knew it was going to take out a lot of cars. I mean, there's some guys that probably won't even start the race because it was such a brutal course. But do you want to start up front or it's a hard line right there of figuring out what to do.
Yeah, what's your strategy? What are we going to do today?
Yeah.
No dust is nice, and that definitely can be a big factor in winning the Mint.
Yeah.
So having a clean track in front of you is ideal, but you also don't want to do something, that can cause you your truck at
There's
qualifying.
a lot of risk.
So what's the plans for you? I know talking with you, so you did Parker, you're doing the Mint, and I know you're back running short course too with General Tire, correct?
Yep, we're going to do the whole Lucas Series this year. That's for sure on the plate. And then the one car, man, it feels good to be back in the desert, and that's kind of where I'm from. So we're going to try to run that as much as we can this year. Hopefully all goes well here tomorrow. And I want to come to Laughlin also, just because that's a sprint race, really hard, kind of fits my style. So.
And it's a great time.
Yeah. So we're going to try to bring the one car back out and race it as much as we can this year and try to transfer that back into the equation a bunch.
See, the problem is you all of a sudden start doing good in the points, and then you're running like a dual program at all of them, and it's like, I know how that works, man. It's like you get roped into doing 2 championships, and then it's like
then it's a lot.
Yeah, then it's a lot.
No, it's already just the short course season hasn't even started, and it's already been a ton of work.
They pushed it back too, huh?
Yeah, so everybody's kind of bummed out about it, but I was pretty stoked.
I was going to say, I don't know who's bummed on our side. We've been like, okay, we have more time. This is cool.
give me another month. Perfect. Perfect.
Yeah, that's a busy schedule. Wow.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of discipline. So
yeah.
Transferring back and forth, you're going to have to do some getting on the line and like, okay, I'm at short course today.
Yeah,
where am I at today?
Sure,
no, exactly. It's tough, and especially like the buggy to truck. It is pretty tough that you don't think about it, but just the buggy driving style to the truck driving style. And especially like if you have a back-to-back weekend and you can't, like, it's tough to just transfer what you're supposed to do in that truck. It's a complete. They're both two different things. So
yeah,
it's tough.
How was the transition being a desert guy to a short course a couple years ago? I mean, how was that? Because, like, I know even me just running Terracross and Razors, which is, short course stadium-style racing, like, it was totally out of my wheelhouse. I didn't know what I was getting into. It's a complete, like, you have to approach racing completely different.
Yeah, don't save anything.
Yeah.
Short course, you're not here to save
No.
anything.
Yeah.
It's and that was one of the things, like, coming from desert, you're saving equipment, you're not bumping stuff, and you get out there and all of a sudden guys are smacking you and you're flying off K-rails and it's like, whoa, what just happened?
Yeah.
Yeah, throwing it in,
Yeah.
backing it in before you even get through the corner.
Exactly. So that, I mean, it was a little tough to get used to. And then once you start banging doors, it kind of gets into you and you figure it out. But it's cool.
Cool. Nice. Well, we appreciate you stopping by, buddy. Good luck this weekend. So I know you're running the Class 1 or Class 1500 car.
Yep.
Also the 6100 truck. I see your name on there. What's going on there?
Yeah, so last year I drove the 6100 a bunch. The races that I don't race in one car, I'll probably end up getting in the truck and driving that.
Okay.
Just trying to get drive as much stuff as I can, Just the more you're out there, the better you get, whether it's truck or buggy. And I feel like the 6100 is a good transition from – it's a little slower than the Class 1, but it's still a good transition, hopefully, to let some people see me in a truck. And who knows, if a trophy truck ride or something comes, I'll have some truck experience. So that's kind of the game plan there.
Nice.
Well, good to have you out here. I'm stoked to see you back in the desert, buddy.
That's it. Well, it feels good to be here. It's cool to come hang out with you guys.
I do got to say, this guy, if you don't know, he's literally one of the classiest guys I've ever met. He literally, I don't know, last year, it cost you 45 minutes coming back. I ran out of gas on the interstate, right? No, and when you go to Prim, there's that railing in between, right?
Yeah.
And Ray went up to the next outlet, got gas. He came back, he parked on the other side of the interstate going back to Vegas, gave me gas, and then knowing he had to drive all the way back to Vegas and then all the way back to Prim.
Wow.
So he added like an hour onto his trip to
awesome.
bail my ass out and give me 5 gallons of gas.
You owe him big time.
I owe Ray,
Yeah.
I owe this dude a lot.
That's that desert family.
Yeah.
So when you see him on the side of the track or you're on the side of the track, who's going to stop first?
Yeah, right?
I
Hey,
can
you
tell
owe
you
me.
if Ray's ever parked or stuck, I'm pulling over. I don't care if I'm leading a race overall, I'm yanking this dude out. So.
Hey.
All right.
Well, I appreciate it, guys.
All right. Thanks a lot, Ray.
Yeah, good luck
good
out
to see
there.
you, buddy.
Good luck.
And we'll see you hopefully on top of the podium.
That's it. That's what we're here
Just
to do.
not in 6100.
Yeah, no, yeah, right? Yeah.
That's it. I'll be the buggy dork this week.
There you go.
All right. Put
All right,
those
guys.
General Tires on the box, my friend.
We're here to do it.
Yeah.
All right.
All
take it
right.
easy.
Thank you.
Good seeing you.
See you, man.
Good seeing
Take
you.
care.
All right.
You talk about transitioning from cars, so we go down to the Nora race. I drive that 57 Chevy for 4 days. I come up here and race the spec truck, right? It's like, oh, my gosh, I forgot about this.
You forgot how easy things can be, right?
Yeah, exactly. That 57 is a lot of work.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, those trucks look fun. The 6100s, man, that's where it's at, I feel like.
I love that that's where the conversation's going today,
Yeah.
2 years ago, we had to explain what it was, and nobody got it. Now everybody gets it and has one.
Well, it's cool because I like anything that's a spec racing. Like, I like when it comes down to the driver more or less than the machine.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it fun because it's fair.
Yeah, well, like what you guys are doing. I mean, one little mistake is going to take you off the podium,
Yep.
You got to change a tire or a brake line, or you just go out of a corner wrong. You're going to be off the podium because the finish times are so close. But it's been really exciting. I was really proud to hear Ryan talk about using the 6100 truck as a foundation for their trophy truck. I'm like, yeah, there you go. Moving up.
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of moving up, look who we got moving in here.
Tanner Foust.
Yeah. Man, the myth, the legend. What is happening, Tanner?
Holy crap, there's a lot of people here.
Yeah. If you don't know, this is Sarah Price
Hi,
here.
Sarah.
Hi,
This
Sarah.
is Jim Riley.
Hey, Jim.
Good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you. Good to see you, Jim.
Yeah, you too, buddy. We got registered not too long ago. We've avoided that 3-hour wait in line by the graces of God or something. There was some kind of intervention there, I think.
It was good moves on your part, actually. Just snuck in there. I mean, that was amazing. 3 hours to register. Apparently, the cars are lined up, half mile outside of the closed road over there. Vegas is shut down for traffic. It's mayhem.
You're a guy, you've traveled the world. You've raced rally cars, drifting. You've done Lucas off-road trucks. You've raced World Rallycross. You travel with Top Gear. I mean, you've seen a lot of motorsports and automotive events. I mean, how does this Mint 400 that you've seen so far rank in there?
Well, I would say that, racing overseas, especially in Europe, is pretty cool because, people are just into it. Motorsports is a really big deal overseas, and sometimes in the States you don't get that feeling. You feel like that they're into NASCAR, but not many other motorsports are thriving. Rallycross is great, but there's not huge crowds that come to those. But this has a vibe kind of like something overseas where there are so many people here that are so into it. The kids are way into it. And it's, huge shocks and giant tires, and there's just like so many enthusiasts and cameras, and it is like mayhem, which it has this vibe of just absolute enthusiasm, which I really miss, motorsports. So there's a lot of energy here, and it's a very cool event, I think. It's my first time. I've always wanted to do the Mint 400.
Yeah.
It's got to be one of the oldest races in the country.
Yeah.
There's lots of cool old posters from like the 60s and 70s, the Mint 400 you see that people have framed in their houses. And so it's got a lot of legacy to it. But I had no idea it was so thriving and young. Yeah. So I'm really loving it.
It is pretty cool.
The Martellis did a fantastic job with what you see out here today. They had a vision several years ago to bring this back. And I was working with them a lot at the time. This is what we're going to do for the Mint. And you can just see in their eyes, they were going to make this happen, know. And when you walk around here today, they really, there is a lot of people out here, all the way from Wednesday in the parade. I don't know if you participated in the parade.
I wasn't here yet, no.
To drive down Las Vegas Boulevard in a race truck was pretty cool.
Took over the strip, honestly, they did. But that's one thing that they touch on. They touch on the history of the racing of the Mint, and I think that's really cool to kind of you look back, and they had the videos going from, 78 or something?
Some of the vintage races.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
And it was really cool to see that and look back on that. So, Tanner, what do you think about the desert program? Have you seen the Star Car yet?
I have not seen the Star Car, Jim. How is the Star Car?
I haven't seen it.
No.
It's supposed to be coming through here.
I've been looking for blue.
Yeah.
I know there's blue involved, right? I've been looking for the car.
Yeah, my teammate over here, Tanner Foust, hadn't even seen the race car he's driving tomorrow. Yeah, I was told him about it. But
okay.
It's got seatbelts in it,
right?
Yeah, it has seatbelts.
Yeah, sweet.
You can trust your builder, I can tell you that.
Yeah. Her boyfriend, James, I don't know, his fiance,
IMG.
what are you?
James is my boyfriend,
Oh, okay, from IMG.
Yes. And so I actually worked a lot on the car myself, so.
All right.
Sarah races UTV. She wrenches on them. She does.
Yeah.
She's a fellow stunt person, too. So.
Oh, very cool. Yeah. My Polaris was over at IMG briefly.
I gave you some of my Casey highlights because we were having some issues getting them in time, so I just was donating stuff.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
So, how did this whole transition happen for you? I know how the whole Star Car thing happened, but obviously you've got the rally background. You've done the Baja 1000. And then how did the whole Polaris Razor thing happen? Because last year you started getting involved with Polaris Razor, and that kind of steamrolled us to where we're at. So how did that whole transition happen?
For me, I've always loved filling in the gap between people that really like to drive and wish they could make a living racing, and then people that are making a living racing. And there's something that the Polaris Razor does where it sort of connects those two. You can go out with your own Polaris, and it's a very similar experience to racing something at a pretty high level. You're covering ground as fast as, a $800,000 trophy truck sometimes.
Yeah.
So it's really amazing how it kind of connects those things. And so I got one, and my buddy Reese was ripping on one. You were talking about Terracross and stuff, and so
I think I scared you away from Terracross.
I was going to say.
I watched you front flip two of them, I think, in one day.
When we were actually filming for the Star Car, there was a little jump, and we were like, okay, he's got to go a little bit more, and then it was like, maybe the Terracross messed it up for the jumping part in the Razor.
I'm not a jumper, yeah.
Well,
that first one was a doozy.
It's very cool, and so I started looking more into the company and other things. Then I did a video with the Slingshot with Martelli brothers, and then really, I'm just stoked to kind of be involved with them a little bit. I think they're growing so fast and getting into a lot of cool avenues. We've tried to use them on Top Gear, so I would love to build a rally version. Some stage rally races are allowing side-by-sides in there. So that's something that I love that form of racing also, where you're just pushing the limits. It's a lot like what we're going to be doing tomorrow. And so that's kind of how it got going, and I think there's a great crossover with people with rallycross, because rallycross is sort of like off-roady and on-roady, but it's not really either.
Yeah.
And so there's some crossover that probably means something to Polaris people, but it's just for fun. It's honestly for fun. I think it's some of the most fun you can have. I want to take them to this ice track in Colorado, run them around that. How fun does that sound?
Yeah, that looks insane.
My friend Cynthia, who's here with me, she just got done doing a race up in Canada, and it was a 24-hour race, and they had side-by-sides, quads, dirt bikes, and there was a few side-by-sides. But 24 hours in a side-by-side, that's a long race for these things to survive. And only one did, but the next second place made it 6. But it was on ice, though.
It is about, the closest you can get for racing to professional racing for the money, and about the most fun you can have, I think, for the money with the steering wheel. And so that's why I'm into it, for sure.
Well, and I know, what was it, last year, you tag team with Rob McCachran, did a few short course races. How was that to get behind the wheel of Pro 2?
That was very cool. I had driven one for the Hot Wheels jump. We basically took a Pro 2 truck and converted it into a Hot Wheels toy and did that jump at Indy 500. And then McCachran had his truck. It was 3 years old, I think, but it was a good truck. And I've only raced it at Elsinore. What a learning experience. It was awesome. And it was a few races before I really even got on top of what was going on with the truck and could not lose time over the jumps. It's not, you don't really think about it. You think about going around the track and it's time, but each jump is kind of like its own corner. So each jump has its own technique in that track. On the big step up, for example, you need to lift off before you get to the lip. The first jump on the straightaway, you need to lift off. The second jump, you can stay full throttle. There's little techniques that I think the motocross guys and people that come from that background can see the shape of the jump and they know exactly what to do. They just feel it. Not me. So I had to learn that stuff. And I would like to continue doing some of those. I'd like to try another track. Elsinore is very much like hairpin, big jump, hairpin, big jump.
Yeah, and then you have that big sweeper, and they make it wet, and it's like slime and just gunk that there's no way nothing can even get any traction in that corner.
I could see you as a Crandon guy, just big sweeping corners where you're just hanging it out. Like, I could see you as a Crandon type of driver.
Definitely. Crandon looks fun. It took almost a race just to get used to tear-offs. I know that sounds terrible.
No, I get it.
But coming through that first turn when there's, 10, 15 trucks in front of you, and you're coated, and you it doesn't matter what you do. At some point, you just recognize you're used to staying full throttle and going about straight, so I'm just going to save the tear-offs right now and just hold it and hope I don't hit the wall, and then I'll go for a couple tear-offs. And, I mean, it's amazing because you can really only get them. You're so busy, you can only get them in the air, basically. Then once your helmet gets a little wet, that doesn't work. And you can see why people would take the fingertips off their gloves sometimes.
Yes, they can get it.
Yeah, but it's it's full gladiator style. Like, it's hard to imagine the impact, I think, that a spectator gets. It's hard to describe that to somebody. The fire shooting 900 horsepower trucks, the jumps, it's epic. And then to see these things unleashed on the desert tomorrow is going to be killer.
Well, we get a little short course tomorrow off the start there. 5 or 6 turns.
That. You get to do a short course. They used to have the torque track here at Prim, and we get to run a lap around there when you go out on your lap. So,
it brings up a good point. Who's going first?
What's that? Well, the plan was you're doing the middle lap.
Good question.
He's like, so is that my time in the car?
I think everybody gets a chance to go around that. I think it's every lap.
Yeah, it's a lap,
Is it okay?
Yeah.
Does it get super rutted up, or is it pretty?
No, it's pretty hard.
For us, it won't be bad. The trophy trucks, once they get going, it's bad news there. But, morning race for us, it's not going to be too bad at all.
It's great that the Martelli brothers did split that up like that. I don't know how it's been in the past, but the fact that the lighter weight trucks go out there and the Polarises and stuff go out there early, you don't have to go through the 40-inch tire ruts.
Yeah, the Autopia, it's kind of tough in them because you don't have so much clearance.
Right.
So you kind of have to ride on the side and, play with it when you're out there.
Well, and really the safety factor, too. I mean, you got to think, if we have one problem in a big truck, we're back behind everybody, and you don't want each other passing. It just gets messy out there.
Yeah, definitely.
And I know this guy, Tanner and I were already talking. He's like, yeah, I'm excited to drive your car. He's like, because when I build mine to come race, he's like, I don't know what I want to change.
Then I'll have an idea.
I'm like, man, is he already throwing his hat in the UTV racing ring here in the best of the desert? I'm like, we could be in trouble here.
It's funny. It seems like all my friends are building these things, and
Reese's is insane.
Reese's isn't even I feel like a Polaris anymore. It's a Class 10 car. full on can compete in a Class 10 class, I believe.
That's gnarly. Well, you know, he comes from multiple disciplines, so I see where he's gone with everything. Center of gravity, you know, being a main focus, and weight being a main focus, which, you know, I feel like historically in off-roading, you didn't necessarily try to shave too much weight off because you needed the robustness to handle these crazy hits. Like, I mean, Patrick O'Keefe yesterday with his roll.
Two barrel rolls, I seen that. And he landed on his wheels.
And didn't lose that much time.
No.
So you need it to be tough, and I'm sure that means heavy.
Yeah.
But, I'm interested to see how your rig works tomorrow. It's going to be super fun.
Like I said, it's one of those things, too, where we don't have a ton of test miles. We've tuned what we can, you know, and it was like build got done a week ago, you know, so it's like it'll be anxious, you know, after this race if everything goes good to get like it later on the season back in it, you know what I mean, when it's fully dialed in and ready to roll, you know what I mean? And it's like,
I feel like you're making an excuse. I don't think you need. I think it's going to be good.
Thing is scary fast. I'm just telling you right now, but
it's gonna be
I come
fast.
from a trophy truck world where you put your foot on the floor and it's 130 miles an hour over everything. So I'm like, I need to make a race that'll do that.
Yep.
Okay. That sounds awesome.
So sounds like you need to go first.
I was saying we never really answered that question. Are you going first, I assume?
Yeah, I think that was the thing, and you'll do the middle lap, and then I think Jolene's going to do the last one and like alternate. And I don't know, we got some ideas. I don't know, we leave that to Jen Horsey. She's got this all figured
We'll
out.
be pitting. So when you come in and need anything, just let me know.
Okay. And so the laps are like 2.5 hours, right?
Yeah, about 106 miles.
right?
100, I don't know, something like that.
Or something like that, yeah.
106, 107 miles. So it'll take about 2.5 hours.
Is there a vintage class?
There is.
There is, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So early morning, they run 2 laps. And this year, there's a lot more vintage cars out there. I own the 57 Chevy parked down there.
Do you?
That we run in the Nora race. But, you know,
awesome.
for those vehicles to come back and run this course like they did in the 70s and 80s, you know, it's pretty cool. So
That is
I know
awesome.
they're all excited to be out there. I'm racing the Nora race next month, so we're not running that here. But it's going to be a good time.
Very cool. Well, I can't wait to get in the car. I can't wait to see them.
Should be.
I see one of the guys who built the car, so I'm guessing it has to be close.
I
right
don't know.
here.
Jim, every time I see Jim, he's like, "Yeah, it should be right around here somewhere." It's,
Doesn't exist.
Yeah, it's like Marsha's boyfriend and.
Oh, man.
And on that note,
You actually have to talk to James because that's what he's been wanting to do. He wants to do stage rally in these.
Yes.
He's not very experienced in it, but that he's like, I want to do something different. And he goes, I really want to do rally because his sister's my co-driver for when we do our things in King of the Hammers and Africa we race. And, he's really been talking about it. So maybe you guys should team up on something.
Well, I was just talking with Tanner earlier. We got this rally pegged for later this fall, and I know, like, I'm game for it. I know Ryan Millen, he's got a UTV, he's game, and he thinks he can get Reese. He's like, it shouldn't be too hard to sell Reese on a stage rally.
Yeah,
UTV.
he'll be there for the competition.
And, you know, I know even I was talking with Jen, and she's like, I bet I can get Tanner to do it, you know. And so I think we'll get, like, a group of guys, and you said, Verdier, he might be interested. So.
Right. I think, you know, there's how many rallies allow side-by-sides? I think Gorman
Idaho does.
Idaho.
Prescott's adding them.
Yep.
Okay. And I think maybe the new Rally Wyoming this year, it's all on private property. I think they're most of it, so I think they're going to add them. So
it's worth building one for that.
Yeah.
You get 4 events out of it. I mean, that's like rally events take a week because you do the recce on all the roads and everything. But oh man, it's so fun. Awesome. All right, well, any second now, Jim, that car's going to cruise right around the corner.
Right.
I'm
should be here
waiting.
any time. So I don't know. It's kind of one of those things. I know we got Jolene. We got to grab her too, and she disappeared somewhere. So it's a camera photo op. All right,
let's do it.
All right.
There we go. Take a moment.
Nice. Got Bink with General Tire there, and we'll let you off the hook, buddy. But I swear, I
I
promise.
have one last question though. So that Rolls Royce, how good did it drift?
It was pretty good.
Did it?
Yeah, it was on Mulholland Drive,
Uh-huh.
which I have drifted that road before.
Yeah.
It's the Snake, you know, the 2
They do
miles.
so much stuff up there.
Yeah, it's a pretty popular
Yeah.
road up there. It was good. It's a big old boat. Adam is a great / terrible passenger. 'Cause, you know, he screams a lot, which makes it satisfying, but also you're a little concerned.
You're like, trust me, I know what I'm doing, kinda. Okay.
I never even acknowledge it. I don't even look at him. And but no, that was a cool car. I think the interior Gosh, I wish I could remember. The wood option on the interior was like $40,000 or something.
Oh,
like
my
it's
goodness.
an insanely expensive car.
Insane.
But that's a great thing about doing TV sometimes is you get to do weird stuff that otherwise you never would get to try, like drifting somebody's Rolls Royce around.
Yeah. I recently did a commercial up there for Ford and got to see the new GT and everything up there.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool.
Did you drive the GT up?
No, I didn't get to drive the GT, unfortunately, but I wish.
Yeah, that's a gorgeous car.
Yeah.
And when I was racing with Ford, I remember that was down the pipeline. It really seemed like a great program, so I'm happy that they've been winning races, and there's a lot of heritage and legacy there.
Yeah.
The battle they had with Porsche at Daytona was spectacular.
Yeah.
So it's great. Any kind of racing where there's good competition is a great thing.
Yeah.
And I'm a big believer that racing and making driving fun and keeping a young generation interested in getting their driver's license instead of always just the new phone.
Yeah.
Is an important part of our culture and hopefully continues on. So events like this.
Yeah.
And just straight up competition around the country. It's such a beautiful thing. I'm stoked to see kids out here.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's to them, these are monster trucks.
Yeah,
you know?
this is what they dream of. This is honestly like, what do you want to be when you grow up? I want to race that truck.
That monster truck,
Yep.
right? Yeah.
Dude, look at but
Big
if
and
you
fast.
look at these things, they're just gladiator machines.
Yep.
It sure doesn't look like something you drive down the highway, which would be like, from a marketing side, isn't as advantageous as like rallycross, but they are absolute war machines. They look like something out of Mad Max.
Yeah.
Even me, I'm like drooling over them. Like we were talking about earlier, it's like, who doesn't want to drive in a trophy truck? Who doesn't want to be out here possibly racing one of these things one day? Like that's what it's all about, And it's cool to keep it family, keep it fun, and like the Guthries are over here talking, and they're out there racing against competitors who, they decrowned him as the king of the hammers. And
awesome.
they're just out there having a good time, passing each other, and just like, oh, well, you just passed me.
It's super cool. So I'm ready. Any second now, Jim. I'm ready.
I don't know. I see, I see crew guys
I'm-
floating around. I'm like, we got to be close.
It has to be like right here, I feel like.
Yeah, it's probably down there on the. Yeah, so my cousin Bryant, he's there. We got to be very close. So.
Is it close?
The car is
we are
lost.
lost.
Good
See?
luck with that.
See? Lost the car. The Polaris guys are close by. We'll see how that
Well,
goes.
Polaris hasn't even seen it. They've seen the pictures, but nobody at Polaris has seen it in the flesh yet either.
look-
so.
Well, IMG standing right here, and they don't even know where the car is.
Yeah, they were the builders.
Good luck with that, guys.
Yeah. Jolene disappeared. Maybe she knows where it's at.
Oh,
We're
I see
supposed
her.
to-
She's right in front of us.
Oh.
Well, thank you guys
All
very
right.
much.
Good to meet
Thanks
you.
a lot,
Thanks,
Tanner.
Yep, nice
thanks.
meeting you.
We'll chat with you here
All right.
shortly, buddy.
All right, good to see you guys. Yeah, sure we will. Sure.
But a great perspective on driving, and get the young people excited about getting a driver's license.
Definitely. I think that is exciting, and that's really cool. Like, you need to have people to look up to when you're young and have a good influence. Like him just drifting a Rolls Royce, it's not made for that, but kids think that's cool and that they want to do that, and so it encourages them to get out there and do something about it.
Yeah, I got to say to his point, being involved in this sport, you get to do some pretty random stuff once in a while,
Yeah.
I've done some day in the dirts with some corporate clients. Like, how great is this? We're getting paid to do this stuff,
Yeah.
Here she is.
The girl herself.
All right.
My hero.
Your hero, huh?
It's a big status.
Get you mic'd up. There you go.
What?
Closer?
No, I say, here she is, and Sarah goes, my hero. And I go,
Aw, that's cute. I can't hear anything. My hair's in the way.
Oh, we got Jolene all mic'd up here, ready to rock.
And the crowd just keep coming, man.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
I know.
And people and
More
cars
cameras.
and more, and it's like contingency needs to become 2 days long, right?
Well, and if you were following along on all the 400 emails, the spectator area is filled up and they're sold
like
out.
months ago.
Yeah, pretty insane. So good job for those guys, getting the spectators out to the course.
Yeah, Ray Griffith.
I was like, what's going on behind me?
Oh, Ray.
All right.
Ray, always fun. So, yeah, we got Jolene here. You're at the Mint finally.
Yeah.
So this project,
Woo!
She probably knew about this project before Polaris. I said, hey, I got this crazy idea, and I want you to be my teammate in this razor. And she goes, I'm in. And this is like 2 years ago, right?
Wow.
So
Long time ago.
I think at some point she texts me and she goes, is this still happening? I'm like, oh, yeah, it's happening. And I think at some point, now here we are. She's here. We got Tanner Foust, and we're rolling, man. So
I know, it's super exciting. It's just like I'm just so stoked for Jim too. You know, when you come up with an idea, a concept, you pitch it to somebody. There's so many ideas going out there, and not all of them get picked up. But this one got picked up, and he's been able to see it through. And so for him, it's like his little baby. And so I'm just like super proud and pumped to be a part of it.
Yeah. So what do you think of the Mint 400? I asked you the same thing we asked Tanner. I mean, you've been at sold-out arenas and done shows and stuff like that. I mean, how does this? I mean, how does the Mint 400, look at it, massive amounts of people, 40,000 people down here supposedly. I mean, it's a pretty big deal, huh?
Yeah, this is a massive, massive deal. There's a lot of rad things happening right now, cars everywhere. I still don't even really know what's going on, but at the same time, like all racing events, you just have that comfort because I think you grow up in the industries and they all kind of are the same but different.
Yeah.
But so it's really cool to kind of see how this industry functions. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been really cool. We talked about that last night, and you're like, it's. I just feel like it's family again. Like this is what we were born doing. When we grew up, we were doing this with our dad, and our whole family is out here supporting, and we have like our little circle of people, and it felt like that last night. Like we all went to dinner, and it was just like, oh, hey, this guy, he helped too, and they did this, and
it's
cool.
It just seems within like these motorsport industries, there's always that community, there's always that family. So it's like even though you just are meeting all the people that worked on the car, you're meeting your pit crew. It's like within a day, you just all of a sudden know that those are your people, those are the people you like, and you can always reach out and rely on other people, but it's just like you have that.
That camaraderie of the off-road
that
community.
core, that support system.
She got to see this thing all come together too, because she spent like 3 or 4 days in Parker with me, so she was over at the race shop every night, got to see it like literally everything, and like she just she literally kind of meshed into the family atmosphere, the team, and
best shop ever, right?
No, for real. And I was trying to stay out of the way because I wanted to help, but half the time I was just like standing there looking, staring, like, so can I help? Is there like something I can do? And then I would just go sit down. But it was really cool to like see how their family all came together, and then the friends and the other guys that were in the shop all helping. And, that's what it's all about. So it's really cool when people come together like that.
So how was testing? You got to wheel this thing. Tanner hadn't even seen the car. He's going to be crap. You've actually been behind the wheel, so you can attest that it does exist.
Yeah, I mean, I was super nervous just because I've never been in a car that has this much power, that has had this much money put into it for a build. We're not going to talk about the Pro 2, but that, that I was going to go out into the desert and just kind of go for it. And I've never, really done that part of the racing. So I was nervous. But as soon as, and I was nervous up until the moment I literally started driving. Like as I was getting buckled in and Jim's like, okay, it's your turn now and everything. I was just like, man, I really hope I don't suck at this. I just don't know. And then it was like, as soon as we got going, I just had this like super calm fall over me, and I just was like tunnel visionly focused on what I needed to be doing, and I was just having so much fun, and I just felt like, wow, I'm actually not bad at this.
Yeah. No, I think you're going to do great out there. Like, you're such a great overall athlete, and I think driving, even seeing you coming in at Terracross, like, holy crap, I was so proud of you, And with this thing, oh, man, it's just going to be keeping it together. Like, keeping it together is key, and that is just being calm out there and just driving a smooth race and putting your wheels where they need to be so you're looking far ahead and not putting them in situations going to get you in trouble, And I think you can definitely, kill it.
I definitely appreciate, like, you and there's been other people that have definitely said a lot of the same things, just to hear the same type of, you get out there, race the race. We're just, the focus is to finish the race. Sometimes you got to slow down to go faster and all those types of things. And it's not about like just pinning it. And I just have to remember all these things. And I think I'm almost so worried about doing bad that I'm coming into it a little timid, which might be good because then I won't get out of control. Like, I'll actually be more focused to do things correctly.
Yeah.
And there's a major attrition rate out there. The course just beats people up, and as the laps go on, the rocks start showing up, so the next lap's completely different. So, to be a little bit nervous is always good, Be a little cautious. The Mint 400 will eat you up.
Yes,
yeah, definitely will. I got to say, too, so I had her, in the studio when we were studio/office the other day, and I got this nice bottle of Azuña Black. And so I think she's eyeing that, Jim. So I told her, I said, this is the guy that makes that tequila. So maybe we can maybe work out.
Why isn't that open?
Yeah, right.
I told him,
I said the same
thing.
thing.
I told him, I'm like this is like I don't know, what are they, $200, $300 a bottle?
It's $100.
Well, it's an expensive bottle of tequila, and it looks pretty.
True. Yeah,
and I was like, that's all more the reason why it should be open in my mouth. But no, it wasn't open. So I was like, okay, fine.
Well, this was also at 9:30 in the morning, right?
Yeah, okay.
Well, hey, it'd be open for me.
5 o'clock.
What he's not telling you is I sent that for him to give
She
to
was
his
on
dad.
a different time zone.
Jim, that's still for your dad. You
know. We're waiting for you to come to the shop next time, and then we're going to have this big.
Then we'll crack it
There
open.
you go.
I've had so many good times in that shop as well. You know, one thing, if you're racing out in Parker and you get desperate for some help, these guys will come to your rescue every single time. And I love sitting on the couch just talking to the old timers and hearing their stories.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, the atmosphere in there is awesome.
Yeah.
Like, you go in and there's like the TV's on, the music's playing, there's couches, there's seats, there's a bunch of, sort of the old neighbors kind of sitting around chilling, and there's guys working on stuff over here, a trophy truck over. Like, I was just like, yeah.
Man, I need to check this place
you
out.
would love that garage there.
It's what it's all about. And then somebody's feeding you all of a sudden.
Right?
Like, we got plenty of food.
Oh, even better. I really need to be there
It
now.
has so much, you can tell it has so much history, and it's just been a staple in that area.
Yeah.
We have a lot of fun. It's like I don't know, family's big, It's like we consider people family. Jim's family, Sarah's family, Jolene's family. It's like, you're just part of the family,
Yeah. Well, that's I mean, you can't do any of these things by yourself. I mean, it takes a village,
Yeah,
it's like they say about kids. Well, it's the same thing for a race team.
Yeah.
It's a kid, and it takes a village. You can't do it by yourself at all.
Even
ever.
like this race, just looking, and I know you said you got 17 guys on your team, and it's like this project, and it's like we've got our core guys that help us for like trophy truck and stuff like that, but this is out of the box, so it's like, we've got James Hill from IMG, he's coming, he's bringing guys from the shop. Sarah's here helping us out, like, because if something goes wrong on a UTV, I don't know how to fix it.
Yeah.
So it's like now we've got our core guys that can help hit, fuel, change tires, but now we've got to bring in like the UTV specific guys to come in and help us, and it's like, so like the family's just getting bigger.
Yeah.
Just add more.
It is. There's so many little tricks on the UTVs, and I really didn't even realize it till I started racing short course, and it's there's so many just little things that help the car. Like, you don't even realize it. Like the side flares. Like, I put 571s on my 900 because it's less air getting just trapped. And it's like that little bit helps us a split second more on your lap time. And you're like, didn't even think about that. That's just something little. And yeah, there's tons of little tricks with these things to kind of get that edge on other people.
It's been really cool talking about learning curves is that we've had so many people on today that's never raced the men.
Yes.
I wish we had a post show so we could talk to everybody like, hey, how did it go, right?
Yeah.
How bad was it?
How excited are you? This is a prestige race.
Yeah, I don't even really know how to describe. I feel like I don't even really have the words, and I look calm, but I guess I don't know.
Well, it's fun sitting on this side of the table with all the new people to this race because I've done it every year. Jim's done it every year, so we know what you're going to go through.
Yeah.
I'm just sitting back going, oh, just wait.
Well, that's
and see.
the thing is like I feel like I just don't even know what is about to happen to me.
She's very lucky. Well, I don't want to say very lucky, but basically she's riding with me the first lap, so she's going to get to see everything.
Yeah.
And then the third lap, she's going to get in and drive.
Yeah.
And I'm going to ride with her. So she'll be able to see the whole race kind of unfold and how desert racing works before she's actually thrown into the driver's seat.
I think that plan has definitely brought my nerves down, just to calm me in the sense of that I'm going to be able to go out there, see what needs to be done, how the car needs to be driven, and watch Jim and kind of really observe, then take a little bit of a break, and then get to go out there.
Well, I just love on this course, you take off, and it's a short course race for the first 10, 15 turns, and then you're off in the desert. Then all of a sudden you come into the gravel pit. You're like, what is this? Why did they put this here? They've got those big apex jumps, and it's like, oh, my God. And the spectators are up above looking down in the hole. Then you're back off into the desert.
I hate that section of the course, too.
We all do. We all do. Thanks, Matt Martelli.
Yeah, that's the one. It's like, can we just bypass that 3 miles? Just, it's like, oh, I hate that. It's all for the fans, so they dig it, and I don't know. Us drivers
they dig it, and we don't.
Yeah. Well, and the worst part is I made a mistake, 2 years ago in there, and wasn't my General Tire's fault. It was my fault, but I ran over a boulder, I don't know how big, and got a flat. So then you've got to change a flat in front of God and everybody. You've got 10,000 people cheering you on as you're changing a flat tire. And I'm like, this is not fun. I don't want to. You got the cell phone cameras going, and I'm like, oh,
and those
my
are not light. Those are some heavy wheels and tires.
Yeah, I was like, seriously. That's no.
And you're alone too.
Yeah, at least. Yeah, if I get a flat this year, something in there, I'm like you said, I'm driving 2 miles on a flat. I'm going to get around the next corner where nobody can see, and then we'll get out.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, you better be nice to her on the first lap because she can get you back on lap 3.
Yep. We're going to have to time these laps. We're going to see who we should make a bet. But no, maybe we need to keep the car together, so we should keep it slow.
I just want to finish, have the car. I want to try not to break anything while it's my lap. Try not to hit anything. That's my goal.
That's what I've said. I'm like, literally, no pressure. I'm gonna do 106 miles, just clean, run 80%, make sure the car gets to the pit. Tanner can get in, and then literally, no pressure for anybody. We're not expecting anything. We'll just see what happens. It's a first race, a brand new car.
A new project.
Yeah. Let's get it to the finish line and see where we're at,
Yeah, just have fun and get it to the finish line.
Yeah.
Do the checker
I literally feel no pressure tomorrow. And in the trophy truck, I always feel pressure. And this one, I'm coming in here and I'm like.
It's funny that you have, 2 people that have never raced a desert race as your teammates.
Tanner's raced the Baja 1000.
I'm not entirely sure what are you thinking here.
Yeah.
But.
No, Tanner's raced the Baja 1000. It was
okay.
It was in one of the Baja Challenge cars, I think.
Oh, okay.
He did it twice now.
Okay.
Yeah,
so Tanner has raced a desert race, but not in a UTV.
I mean, I'm still shocked at obviously you've seen the past 11 years of my career, and you still asked me to be a part of this project.
That's
I don't really understand.
She goes, "You did see my Pro 2 debut, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I saw it." But
you've seen me race Terracross. Yeah. I mean, you've seen.
Yeah, and your lap times are faster than mine, so.
So when it was on the wheels.
So I told Jim we're getting him into at least one Terracross race this year. He doesn't know, but it's happening. We're getting him into Terracross.
The new guy, right?
It's so fun.
It is. It's a blast.
Oh,
I told him I'm like with the parties at Heydays and everything that's tailor made for Jim Riley.
Perfect.
Your wife would love it too. It's just a good atmosphere there at Heydays. Your wife and your daughters. Lots to see. Weather's beautiful in Minnesota that time of year. So
I'm in.
It's a fun event.
It is a fun event.
That would be the one to do. I think we got to make it happen, but. Yeah, I don't know. I think we're about ready to sign off here on this show.
It's been a good time.
Yeah, I've done about 2 hours here. Good times. I don't know. My race car, I guess somewhere. I don't know.
I haven't seen it yet. Has it driven by you guys?
No.
It's mysterious today.
It has to be next.
I went walking and looking for it. I couldn't find it anywhere.
I see Brandon Sims over there.
Yeah. Well, and I'm sure it's one of those things, too, when it gets here, it's a brand new UTV that nobody's seen, so everybody's all the UTV guys are going to be looking under it. What is it? What do they do? It's so, I don't know, one of those things. But, yeah, been a good time. Thanks, Jolene.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Jim and Sarah. Good to kind of toss it down here on Fremont.
Yeah.
Always enjoy being on the show, man.
Yeah.
Such a good time. It's been a lot of fun out here. Too many people.
So many people.
Yeah.
So,
where do they all come from?
Checking out the new Ace 150 over there. It's brand new. They announced it last week. And, my daughter's got a 170, but I'm looking at that little Ace 150. I'm like, that thing looks rad.
It is.
For
a single
kids,
seat.
Single seat.
I wonder if any of them have showed up to Travis's house yet.
No. It's I could see Trav, though, with the Razor 170 because the 2 seats. Because Lindsay could jump in with the girls or whatever.
Yeah.
Travis has actually raced a 170 at Camp Razor. And his head stuck out the roof. It was hilarious. But no, it's basically like that, but it's a 2-seater, and I could see that working with the girls because Lindsay could get in there and coach him, or Trav could kind of stick his head out the window and kind of.
Yeah.
So I think, but like I was saying, I can't believe he hadn't hit Polaris up for one yet. It's
you might not know about them, but they're pretty cute.
Yeah, that just got released, didn't it?
That a week ago. That's a brand new model.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, I can only imagine the kids in short course now, the little Groms, are going to be shredding those things.
So awesome. It's cool seeing it. There's it's a competitive class. The 170s are getting pretty competitive. They're building those things now, engines and everything.
Yeah. Well, the 170s, talking to that, last year, the UTV World Championship, here's a Razor 170. They're $3,500 brand new for the kids. There was somebody that showed up with a $30,000 Razor 170 with.
Yeah.
So.
Hi.
Hi. All right.
So, what's happening tomorrow? I just kind of bounced
Oh, you just came in off the street?
Yeah.
You don't know what's happening?
Out there at Prim, we got one of the biggest
too.
off-road races in the country happening.
Oh,
so.
there's a 78 truck. I was wondering if there's 78.
What's that? Yeah, you can go out there and check it out. Out there at Prim by Buffalo Bills. Yeah. All right.
Right? Aloha, right? Aloha,
All right. All right.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Good times.
All right. Well, we're going to sign off here. Thanks, Jim, Sarah, Jolene. Thanks to General Tire, Polaris Razor. Got Subaru, Casey Highlights, Gibson, Dirtfish. I don't know, looking down the list of advertisements here.
And the list goes on.
It's like having your pit board.
Yeah, you're like,
right.
Dad, hold the pit board up.
Yeah.
Hey, good luck to you guys out there
All right,
tomorrow,
thanks a
man.
lot. Same to you, my friend. If you
Thanks,
need
Jim.
anything, we'll be
Appreciate
around the
it. Right
afternoon
on.
race, so
Right
if
on.
you need an extra hand, we're there.
Love
Yep.
it.
I'll
Love
be
it.
holding down the pit, so if you guys need anything, just stop and let me know. I'll take care of you, okay?
All right.
Good luck, you guys.
Thanks a lot. Thanks to all you guys for tuning in, keeping it locked and loaded here. Don't forget, check out Project Action just dropped. Jolene Van Butte, my guest this past week. Rate, review, subscribe on iTunes. Check out Down and Dirty Radio Show on Tuesdays. We will see you next Tuesday, recapping the Mint 400.